It's time for Shawn and Maya in the morning.
Quick pitch to Walter, looking for the record, cuts back, he's got it, he's out of it at 25 and the 26-yard line. Walter Payton becomes the National Football League all-time leading rusher. Jordan, open, Chicago with the lead. The Chicago Bulls have won their 6th NBA championship. Chicago has won the Stanley Cup. Palmero over the head of Jenks. Uribe charges, throws, out! And the White Sox have won the World Series. A little bouncer slowly toward Bryant. He will glove it, go to Rizzo. It's in time. And the Chicago Cubs win the World Series.
What up, what up, what up? Welcome to Shawn and Maya in the morning on this TGI Mickey Ficky Friday. It's the weekend, baby. I am fired up. Thanks for tuning in, guys. I'm your boy, the Superback, Shawn Sierra. And let me tell you, it is a beautiful, beautiful day here in the Chi. 78 degrees today. What a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful day. I can't tell you how excited I am to have this opportunity to sit here and talk with you, talk sports, talk a little shit. Hey, it's all fun. It's all good. It's all worth it. I guess, guys, listen, if you're watching this on Facebook Live, well, then I guess you're following us on Facebook. And if you're not following us on Facebook, get with the program. Go to Facebook, type in Sports Zone Chicago. Okay. Click the like button. And now you're following Sports Zone Chicago on Facebook. And you know what? While you're there, you're already on Facebook. Why don't you just go to Shawn and Maya in the morning? Go to our Facebook page, the show's Facebook page, and like that page too. For a goof, why not? How you doing? Huh? How you doing? Forget about it. All right, now, if you're watching this on our YouTube channel, excellent. And if you're not subscribed to our YouTube channel, come on, man, get with the program. Go to YouTube, type in Sports Zone Chicago, click the subscribe button. And now you're subscribed to Sports Zone Chicago. So not only do you get Shawn and Maya in the morning 3 days a week, and you'll get our other 5 live shows as well. Guess what? They're all archived there, just like they are right there on Facebook. All right. And if you're listening to us on the app, that is even more excellenter. It's an old phrase I just made up. Listen, and if you haven't downloaded the app, you got to, man, it's the 21st century. Get with it, Papa. Get with it, baby. Let's go. All right. Wherever you get your apps from. Okay. Go there, whether it be iTunes, Google Play, Walmart, Amazon, Kmart, 7-Eleven, Zaire, Zemsky, Venture, all right, Macy's, wherever you get your apps from. Listen, go there, type in Sports Zone Chicago. Download it. Take us with you on the go. And guess what? Now, not only do you get Shawn and Maya in the morning 3 days a week, not only do you get our other 5 live shows throughout the week, not only are they archived there, just like they are on Facebook and YouTube, but you know what? You will get a slew, and I mean a slew of articles, thanks to my man Clarence Council III. Big shout out to Clarence Council III. Man, you could also tweet the show. Listen, you can tweet us at Sports Zone Chi, CHI, at Sports Zone Chi. But listen, if you want to follow me, just me, personally online, you want to know what I did? Well, let me tell you what I did. You want to know what I did? Well, here's what I did. I mean, nice and easy for you folks. Nice and easy. One handle for Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, the Snapper, and TikTok. Although I haven't made a first video yet. Maybe that's what I'll do this week. Maybe this weekend, maybe I'll make my first TikTok video. It's not going to be a dance one. I mean, I can dance. Don't get me wrong. I've been dancing since I was knee-high to a grasshopper, but maybe we'll do a TikTok video this weekend. Anyway, one handle at the Shawn Sierra. If you want to follow my lovely co-host, Maya Akai. You can follow her on Facebook and Twitter at the Sports Chica. If you want to follow her on Instagram, because you do it just for the gram, follow her at Maya_Akai, MAYA_AKAI. I would be remiss if I didn't bring him out. He is the man that makes everything run smoothly here at Sports Zone Chicago. He is my Puerto Rican Swiss Army knife, Ivan Vargas. Ivan, what's up, Papa? How are you?
I'm good. Good morning. I know we're going to talk about the Sox, but I want to talk about what's going to happen, maybe potentially some old school retaliation for Wilson getting hit on the ankle, because I know that shit was on purpose, for Albert and his pretty hard slide. Like, Albert's a pretty big dude, and although it was legal only because his fat ass had to stop, you know what I mean? Like, he had to stop sooner or later. doesn't mean it was clean to me. And the slide into second on Nikki two strikes. So if there is some old school retaliation in today's Cubs card game, I will be liking that.
Hey, you know what? I have no problem. I don't care who it is. If it's against my White Sox, if it is my White Sox doing it, that's old school hardcore baseball. You know what I mean? And people nowadays have gotten so soft that they're like, oh my God, that's not a hard slide into second base to break up a double play has been that's good, hard, fundamental baseball. You want to make sure you can't turn the double play, keep the inning alive, and who knows what'll happen. So you know what? I have no problem with it. Whether it was against my White Sox, I'd be mad, but I'd be like, yeah, it's good. I'd be like, damn it, all right, get him back because it's good. It's good, hard-nosed baseball. You're not trying to hurt anybody. What he's trying to do is you're trying to disrupt the double play.
I don't know. I hear you on that.
Because it's the Cardinals, so you're a little more venom, bro.
So I'm like, it's the Cardinals.
Yeah.
And you're this is the thing. This is how Milwaukee's trying to do us, right? That's how Milwaukee's trying to do us, where they're trying to beat us up physically, even going as far as intentionally plunking.
Yeah, they throw it, but that's
you know what I'm saying?
Milwaukee's different, bro.
No, I don't know. I don't think so.
I think Milwaukee they throw at you too much.
I think they're the same type of mentality. Is they're going to go ahead and try to beat up on the Cubs because they have the opportunity to beat up on the Cubs. And I don't know. I don't like me particularly. I'm like, all right, cool. If we're going to play tough, let's play tough. But that one that one to Wilson's ankle, that one is where I was like, all right. Because even though I was upset a little bit about that Albert slide, because I'm like, Albert, I was like, I get you're breaking up the double play, but come on, like you don't do that. Like you don't ever do that. Albert, you haven't slid hard in like 5 years. You know what I'm saying? Like you haven't slid hard in 5 years, Albert. When do you do that? So to me, I'm just cautious of what's going on because Wilson's on fire. Hits another home run yesterday against their ass, and then all of a sudden he gets hit in the ankle. You know what I mean? It's actually the back. It was the Achilles, really, where he got hit. But I'm skeptical, man. I don't like that. If that's the case, then David Ross should be like, hey, something needs to be done.
Someone needs to be plunked.
Yeah.
A big shout out to my man Ivan. He is fired up this morning. He is fired the freak up, man. Listen, we have a phenomenal show, but we need you to get interactive. And man, oh man, we have guys on the text line already. Cornelius Squall's in the house. What's up, Papa? Good morning. Armando Alada Jr. Jr., what's up, baby? Thanks for tuning in. Shawn Wall's in the Mickey Ficky house. Man, that's what I'm talking about. And you know what? I can tell you this. Listen, whoever's watching this, do us a favor, just say a quick hello. Just put a quick hello in the comment wherever you're watching us from, whether it be Facebook, whether it's YouTube, whether it's our app, wherever you're watching us from. Just say a quick hello. Let us know where you're from. Just introduce yourself. There's a lot of people here that they watch the show, but I don't get a chance to say hello to you personally because you watch, but you don't interact with us. That's the whole purpose. Listen, this show is great because of one thing, because of you guys. You guys, your interaction, your questions, your comments, your sarcastic remarks. All right. That's what I need. That's what I want. All right. So we're building a community here. We built a community here, and we're going to continue building a community here. And it's going to involve people from all over the country, not just Chicago, the Chicagoland area, or even the state of Illinois. They're going to have people from Indiana, from Michigan, from Nebraska, from Florida, from Texas, from Cali, from Arizona. Okay, and across the sea, across the pond as well. So just say, if you're watching us, just type in, hey, Kevin from Arizona. All right, or Jonathan from Chicago. Wherever you're from, just leave a question. Just say what's up. Just say what's up. Southside Bears in the house. Oh, snap, dog. Where you been? You been hibernating? You've been hibernating, Southside Bear? Where you been, Papa? Good to have you back, man. Good to have you back. I appreciate it. That's funny. That's funny. Man, we have a lot of sports to talk today. We have some White Sox to talk. Woo, it's gonna be crazy. We have some Cubs to talk. Woo, that's gonna be crazy. We have some NBA Finals action. Woo, that is going to be insane. I started noticing something yesterday in game 1 of the NBA Finals, and I'm a little concerned. I'm a little concerned about my guys. My guys are GSW, not gunshot wounds. We know what in Chicago, GSW means something completely different than the rest of the basketball world. GSW is usually a gunshot wound. Okay, that's okay. No, we're not talking about the gunshot wound. We're talking about the Golden State Warriors. I am seeing a little age creeping up on them. And they're all over 30. Steph, Clay, Draymond. I know you've been injected. Don't forget Andre Iguodala, Iggy. Can't you see? He's back with the squad. But they're all over 30. They're not as quick as they used to be, not as fast as they used to be. They're still deadly from 3-point land, but there's something I'm seeing that's really, really, really got me concerned. We're going to talk about that today later in the show. Joseph Phillips should be coming on momentarily for the top of the morning segment. We're going to talk that with him. We got some news on LeBron. Joseph can't wait because we all know how much Joseph loves LeBron, so he's going to be happy with that topic. And then, is it literally time to start panicking on the South Side? We're going to talk about that as well. There's a lot of stuff we got to get into today, and I am fired the freak up about it. And, Ken Davis should be joining us at 10 o'clock today. Excuse me. And listen, you got to turn your phone off, dummy. We have we're going to talk a little bit about Brittany Griner. Some news and information has come out about her. She's got access now to the real world. Okay, she's still over there in Russia, but all right, she's has access. People have access to her as well. Philip Knight might be adding NBA owner to his list. And Philip, if you don't know who Philip Knight is, just leave right now. No, I'm kidding. He is a founder of Nike. If you guys don't know, I'm a Nike whore. All right, I will not. I have a fictitious contract with Nike in my head, so everyone needs to know who the hell Philip Knight is. Philip Knight is the founder of Nike. So, he's throwing his hat in the ring. He wants to be an NBA owner. Man, we got a lot of good stuff coming, man, and to talk about today. I'm fired up. That NBA Finals that we're going to talk about later, and then the Bears. The Bears, baby. The Bears finished up their OTAs yesterday at Hallis Hall, and I'm telling you, the more as the days go by and then the weeks go by, I'm getting more and more fired up about this team. More and more fired up. The Bulls were a big disappointment in the playoffs. Let's not get it twisted. The Bulls superseded they came right around where we thought they would be. They came back to where we thought they would be. All right, they teased us for a long time in the first half of the season, hanging around first place, getting us all fired up and freaked out. And then they kind of regressed to the means. And, their exit in the first round, frustrating. So I'm like, all right, fine. We got my White Sox. My White Sox came out, and all of a sudden they laid an egg out of the gate. So then I'm frustrated with them. Then my Bears come out. They don't draft the wide receiver. That pissed me off. And I'm like, man, dude, what is going on with my teams? What's going on with my teams? But what happened is, as I sat back, and I'm trying to be, I don't want to be, you know how some people are just always overly optimistic. Oh, the Bears could do this and if. No. I'm looking at it because part of it is I wanted them to do what I wanted them to do. That's part of the reason why I was upset. But I wanted them to do it because I know this is what they need the most. I should say the most. This is what they really, really need. But the problem is there are a lot of needs for the Bears. A lot of them. And they addressed some needs that they didn't address needs that I wanted them to address. They addressed it in a way that could still be good. Wide receiver Velus Jones could be good. He could be a stud. He could be the steal. He could be the steal of the draft. He could be the steal of the draft because of his speed. And the one thing that I said, and I had to remember, I've said this, so I have to take my own advice, and I have to sit and wait and be trustworthy that they select this organization, this new front office, I should say this new front office and head coach. They are selecting guys that fit their system. Doesn't matter if we know about them. Doesn't matter if we like them. It doesn't matter if we know them. If there's a big deal, it doesn't matter who they are. It doesn't matter what their name is. It matters if they fit their system. And that's what they're doing consistently, religiously, defiantly. They are picking guys that fit their system. Now, maybe they're getting guys. It doesn't matter. Tell them, Rock. It doesn't matter what you say. They're doing it their way.
Have you ever heard that song? Actually, I remember seeing the music video back in the day. It tripped me out. It's funny.
Dude, he's good. He's awesome, dude. He's awesome. I love that dude. But they're doing what we haven't had here in Chicago in years, ages, if ever, is what we're getting. And remember, I told you it's difficult for Chicago fans, especially when we're dealing with Bear fans. It's very difficult for us, myself included, for someone to say something and stick to it unapologetically. We've had a whole bunch of liars, bullshitters, used car salesmen, shoe salesmen. We've had all those guys here. This guy tells us what he's doing, explains what he's going to do, why he's going to do it, and then goes about doing it. And some of us are having an issue with it. Because this is what you said you were going to do. All right. The problem is it's not in a way that most of us or many of us would like, which is why we're not running the Bears. But I digress. Guys, you know how we do. You know how we do the first segment of every show. It's called Top of the Morning.
Just when you want it.
Top of the morning to you. Top of the morning to you. Top of the morning to you.
And with the top of the morning segment, you know what that means? That means we got to bring in our guy. We got to bring in your guy. We got to bring in the guy. He's the guy you find on Twitter at ACA Joe. He's the man with all the crazy takes. And I'm wondering what he's drinking. Hope he ain't sipping on some scissor before he came on. But we're gonna find out. It's our man, Joseph Phillips. Joseph, what's up, Papa? You sipping on this scissor?
Well, no, man. You know, only thing I've been sipping on is some water, some Kool-Aid, and maybe occasionally a pop. But other than that, I never drink, no smoke, no drink.
I'm messing with you, dog. I'm just messing with you. You know that. How you doing today? You got any big plans this weekend?
Oh yeah, man. We just
oh, that's right, because you're in charge of. So for those of you who don't know, who may not have caught it, Joseph, tell them what your new gig is for the summer.
Well, God blessed me with a new position as the site director of the Chicago Cubs summer youth baseball camps. So I'll be the director for that. I have like 4 or 5 coaches under me. I think it's gonna be over 100 kids participating. We got the endorsement from the Cubs, David Ross. It's on the Chicago Cubs website. Not only is happening in Chicago because I'm over the whole Chicago region, but they're also taking place in New York through Head First Sports, professional sports. The Yankees have a summer camp. The Red Sox have a summer camp, and I believe the Atlanta Falcons and another team. So I'll be in charge of the Chicago Cubs summer camp, working for my dream team. Pretty much my favorite team.
Are you gonna be doing that? Are you starting that this weekend, or when is that?
I start actually June 12th. I start June 12th.
Next week.
My first day of training is a Sunday, so we're gonna
week from Sunday.
Walk through, and then I just got my khakis yesterday, my shoes. And the beautiful thing about all this, which I wanted to experience, but I'm a manager, I'm a director. If you were a coach, you actually get to wear the whole Chicago Cubs baseball uniform. Get the real baseball uniform. So I wanted to do that, but God had better plans. So I get to wear the khakis and the polos. So I'm good.
So when you say khakis, you're not talking boss. You're not talking car keys. You actually mean khakis, not the khakis.
Short khaki shorts and the official Cubs logo polos.
So are you going to frame that when it's done? Because it's like officially from the Cubs and then.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Now, can I share this quick story with you about the Cubs?
Of
Because
course.
here's the deal. They played me one time. I never forget. This is after they won the 2016 World Series. And I had a good resume and everything. And they was like, oh, the Cubs are hiring. So I was like, okay, cool. Let's do this. We're world champs 2017. So I get to the hiring interview. They was like, oh, we love your resume. We want to bring you into the marketing department. So I was like, okay, cool. Let's do this, So I get the job, I'm telling all my family members, oh, I work for the Cubs. I work for the Cubs. And after it was all over, here comes the first day. I get to Wrigley Field. Everybody's sitting down. I got on these tight khakis, tight polo, and they was like, okay, so we need you guys to all meet us in the parking lot. So I was like, what's going on? I thought we were going to be in the stadium. It's like we need you in the parking lot. You're going to be parking cars. So I was like, no way. Man, it was the most humiliating day of my life. We were in there parking cars. They lied to me. They said that they were going to hire me in the marketing department, and it was not the marketing department. And then to add insult to injury, a drunk lady walked past and squeezed my butt. And I was like, that's it. That's it. That's it. So this is God. God is blessing me in return because I really feel bad. My feelings is hurt, but now I got a better position working with the team. So
No, that's funny. That's really, really, really funny. The marketing team, they have you park cars. That's hilarious.
Right. They lied to me, man. They lied to me. It was like that episode of Wayans Brothers when he was like, oh, I have the perfect job for you. Yeah, you're gonna be a white collar worker. You're gonna work at the desk. He was over there sharpening pencils. He had like 100 pencils, just sharpening for no reason.
That's funny, dude. That's awesome. Well, good. Congratulations again, man. I know you're happy as a pig in slop. I could tell by your enthusiasm and your passion about it. That's good, man. That is really good. That is so awesome. So, good luck with that, Papa. Good luck. But let's move on. The first top of the morning topic. Staying with your Cubs. The Cubs beat the Cardinals, their heated rival, their arch enemy, the St. Louis Cardinals yesterday, 7-5. Keegan Thompson, he gets the win yesterday. He's 6-0 on the season. He went 5 1/3, 5 hits, 3 runs, all earned, 3 walks, 3 Ks. Man, this guy is on fire. All right, Frank the Tank Schwindel, he was 3 for 4, hitting his 10th double of the season. His 7th homer driving in, and hitting his 7th homer driving in his 25th and 26th runs of the year. Wilson Contreras, as Ivan mentioned earlier, he's 1 for 3, hitting his 9th homer of the year, driving in his 20 and 21st runs of the season. And Ian Happ, he was 2 for 4 with his 6th homer of the year, driving in his 27th ribby of the season. They have they playing 4 and 5, 5 and 4, I should say, 5 games in 4 days with the Cardinals in this set. So it's a great chance to move up in the set. You're 7 games under. It's a great chance to get closer to 500, move up in the standings, and hurt the chance and really beat your arch rival.
Well, first thing, I just want to send a shout out to Keegan Thompson. We talked about him in the last show, just how he's been this team's first half MVP. Because everything we asked Keegan Thompson to do, he's done it. When it comes to closing the game, I don't know if he actually closed the game, but he's been in long relief. And he's been very consistent lockdown. So just to see him start and give up only, 2 to 3 runs. And I know that last run was pretty much an unfortunate situation because he actually had a strikeout and the ump didn't give it to him. So he could have only gave up 2 runs that game. But to beat the Cardinals in the first game of the series, especially after beating the Milwaukee Brewers and, just seeing him dominate like that, in addition to our potent lineup. Because Shawn, let me say something with you, man.
Sure.
I'm ready to get this season over with. Like every time the Cubs win, I'm just like, hey man, look, what are y'all gonna do? Let's just focus on the draft. But this team right here, he keeps switching the lineups and he's finding a way to win. So I hope it don't be like this all year. If we're gonna tank, let's tank. But if not, then let's just win. It's just as simple as that.
Well, the Cubs are on a 3-game winning streak right now. And, for baseball, I don't know how – here's the one thing about baseball. I'm not too worried about, everyone, about tanking. It's a lot different in baseball than it is in the NFL and NBA. But if when you tank, I mean, there's so many rounds in the MLB draft. Just because they're a first round pick doesn't mean they stick. There are guys who second, third, fifth, seventh, 12th round picks who actually end up being better than some of your first round picks. So, I'm not worried about the tanking. For the Cubs, the thing that I said that I wanted to see them play fundamental baseball. I wanted to see them compete. I wanted to see them do the little things. And what did Nicky Two Strikes do yesterday with a runner on first and second? He bunts. He lays down a beautiful sac bunt down the third base line. That is baseball. You see guys doing that, dude. This is what you want to see. This is what makes me happy as a baseball fan. This is what should make you guys, Cub fans, happy, because that's smart baseball.
Right. And I totally agree with what you're saying, but at the same time, I just want to see David Ross keep a consistent lineup. Like, I like the lineup that I saw last night, and that was with Morel batting leadoff. You got Contreras batting at the 2 spot. Then you got Frank the Tank batting number 3. Then you got Wisdom at the 4th spot. Then you had Nico Horner batting right after them, because I believe Nico Horner is like a situational hitter. Like, he's starting to turn into that consistent guy in that lineup for us. And then following Nico, Ian Happ, he's doing excellent compared to the last couple of years. He's actually hitting better as far as for average, because he's a switch hitter. He's hitting on both sides of the plate, and he done one out the park last night. And then last but not least, you got Nicky Two Strikes, and then you got the kid Higgins. So up and down that lineup, I think we can hit for average and we can hit for power if we start believing in ourselves. But right now, like I said, it's just one game, and hopefully we can build on that.
All righty, listen, let's take a quick break, and on the other side of the break, we'll have more top of the morning topics. So don't go anywhere, folks. Keep it locked right here. Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago.
AutomotiveMap.com presents the Sports Flash on the Sports Zone Chicago. The Cubs beat the Cardinals 7-5 on Thursday. Frank Schwindel hit a long solo homer and doubled among his 3 hits. Wilson Contreras went deep for the 3rd time in 4 games. Ian Happ also homered to help Chicago end the Cards' 3-game winning streak. Paul Goldschmidt doubled to extend his hitting streak to 24 games. He reached it safely for a career-best 38th consecutive game. Cubs rookie Christopher Morel doubled, walked, and scored 2 runs, extending his career opening on-base streak to 16 games.
There's a drive out in the deep left center. That ball's going to get in there. 2 runs will score. Luis Robert with a 2-run double.
White Sox radio with the call in Thursday's 8-3 loss at Toronto. Johnny Cueto gave up 3 earned runs and 7 hits over 6 innings. For lightning fast sports updates, download the Score app. It's free and one of the most popular sports apps in North America. I'm Chuck Sanders. That's the Sports Flash on the Sports Zone Chicago.
Get Macy's lowest prices of the season and save big on summer style essentials, like 50 to 60% off all designer suits for an effortless touch of cool, 40 to 75% off fine jewelry to complete any look, and get ready to jet set with Tag Ridgefield luggage sets just $74.99. Plus, Macy's Star Rewards members earn on every purchase except gift cards, services, and fees. Sign up for free at Macys.com/Star Rewards. Savings off sale and clearance prices. Exclusions apply.
Hi, Tom Bodette here. Have you ever noticed how people talk in that same weird voice to their dogs? Just like this? Well, it sure gets a dog's tail wagging. Wondering if I can get your ears all perked up the same way when I tell you that pet stay free at Motel 6. With a clean, comfortable room and a great low rate. Now, who's a good human? I think you are. I'm Tom Bodette for Motel 6, the proud sponsor of pets, and we'll leave the light on for you. Yes, we will. Yes, we will.
Welcome back to Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago on this TGI Mickey Ficky Friday. It is the weekend, baby, and this just in, literally right before we went to break, this just in. Former Cubs manager former Cubs player and Phillies manager Joe Girardi has just been fired by the Philadelphia Phillies after 2+ seasons with the team. The bench coach will take over. Wow. It is they're not living up to expectations. The man, that's came as a huge shock to me. They're 22-29, and I think they just had enough. It's at times. I don't even know what to say. I hadn't been following the Philadelphia Phillies, but they're obviously not happy with the 22-29 start this season when they were anticipated to, be a much more serious contender.
Wow, this is shocking and it's breaking news, but it's unfortunate for the Northwestern grad, Joe Girardi. I know originally we wanted him as our coach prior to um, hiring Joe Madden, actually, because we wanted him. He was like, man, that would be cool. We can have a Chicago guy lead us to the World Series, but that didn't happen. But he ended up taking another route, and with the Phillies, they spent all that money and Nicky Castellanos. They had Kyle Schwarber in that lineup. You got Bryce Harper in that lineup. There's no excuse for you to be failing. And when you're underachieving like that, they're gonna look. They're gonna go to the coach all the time. They're not gonna always look at the players. They're gonna say, okay, well, let's see what the coach is doing. Even though the players may be to blame, but they're gonna look at the coach and see if the coach is getting all pretty much the effort out of each player on the team.
Yeah, it's amazing. When there's some people who wanted Joe Girardi here on the South Side. Does this pave the way for next season? If Tony, because I don't think Tony La Russa is going to stay. I think he has one more year on his contract. I think this might be Tony La Russa's last year on the South Side. Win, lose, or draw. So they're going to be. I feel they're going to be looking for another manager. I want Ozzie. They made it clear the last opening or before last season that Ozzie wasn't in the running, wasn't going to be a candidate. Maybe they've changed their tune. Maybe they haven't. If they have not changed their tunes, then they're definitely going to take a look at Joe Girardi. But I look at it this way: is Joe Girardi a little too old school for some of these guys as well? I don't know. Maybe that could be the reason why he's not being successful, and he wasn't successful in Philly. And if that's the case, why would you want to bring another old school type of guy here? Okay, I don't know. I don't know.
I think I think what the White Sox tried to do, and I'm not trying to say they actually looking at what everything that's going on the north side, but I guess they look at Tony La Russa like a Joe Madden. Well, Joe Madden he knows how to relate to this generation because of all of the quirks and the games that he play. So with La Russa's situation, I guess they felt like, well, if Madden can do it with a group of young guys, or old school Jack McKeon, with the Florida Marlins. Maybe we can do it with Tony, and maybe we can see a different side of Tony. But like you said, it hasn't translated. And unfortunately, a guy like La Russa or Girardi, it's hard for them, I guess, to communicate with this generation, just a different style of ball play.
Well, we're going to find out. We will see. Well, listen, moving on. Speaking of the White Sox, the next top of the morning topics, my White Sox, baby. My White Sox fall and get swept by the Toronto Blue Jays across the border. Sox are on a 3-game losing streak. Johnny Cueto, he gets the loss. He's 0-2 on the season. He wins 6 innings, 7 hits, 4 runs, 3 of them earned, 5 Ks. Luis Robert is quietly coming back and having a really, really, really good season. He was 2 for 4 with his 4th double, driving in 2 RBIs, his 18th and 19th of the season. And Yo-Yo is having some positive results. He was 1 for 4 yesterday, driving in his 5th RBI of the season.
Wow. Same old story. I want you guys to do well. Like no beef, no pun intended. I want you to do well because it's good for the city. But right now, this is just flat out ridiculous because Tony is a World Series manager. The players, for some reason, they aren't responding. They have to actually. I guess they need to have a players only meeting where you just say what you need to say. Hey, look, man, I don't like this about you. Just talk it out because whatever's going on inside the locker room is showing on the field. And I'm not saying it got necessarily be division or chaos or form of discord, But what I'm saying is that I don't think everybody's on the same accord. I don't think everybody's on that team objective is to win day-to-day ball games. Some guys are caught up in their brand. Some guys are caught up in what they didn't get or what they should have or what they believe they should have. I think they just need a team-only meeting with the young guys, especially a guy like Tim Anderson, and just let the veteran guys just air it out and say, hey, look, this is going to be the standard from here on out. If you can't accept that, then bounce, because right now they don't have – I don't think y'all have a leader. I know you keep saying Tim Anderson, but I don't think Tim Anderson is a leader, just being honest.
I do. Tim Anderson is definitely the leader of this team. I think he needs to grow up, though. I think his immaturity is not very becoming of a leader. We've talked about his transgressions. We've talked about, his issues with Josh Donaldson. Okay, that's fine. But then we also talked about him bumping the ump. Okay, you want to be a leader? We don't do that. You talk about flipping off the fans? You want to be a leader? You don't do that. You're talking about telling Ozzy to shut the F up? You don't do that. These are actions unbecoming of a leader. Okay, there are, you pick and choose your battles. Okay, especially as a leader, you must know what battles to take and what battles to avoid and to ignore. And I don't think Tim has that yet. And Tim's been in the league long enough. All right, he's been in the league long enough. He's 27, 28. All right, you've been in the league long enough. You should understand. And now that you've had some success, sustained success. Okay, now you realize you are a leader. You cannot act the way you did when you first got here. Nothing wrong with being exuberant. Nothing wrong with bat flipping. Nothing wrong with getting fired up and getting everybody else fired up. But as long as it's regarding the game, that's where your energy needs to be. Not toward the fans, not flipping them off, not calling yourself all kinds of other stuff. Play baseball, play hard. All right, leave the nonsense where it belongs off the field.
Yeah, and look, I think Tim Anderson is doing one of these numbers. He's looking at his numbers. And he's like, look, I'm batting, 330, 340. I'm averaging this. I'm doing this, that. I am the leader, okay? So whatever I do emotionally on and off the field, I don't think it matters. Bottom line is that it does matter. Like, if it comes down to it, because I know people are going to try to blame it on Tony La Russa, but if you're the leader and you're the face of this franchise as Tim Anderson, any failure or success is going to fall on your shoulders at the end of the day. If you really want to be that man, it's just like Anthony Rizzo. I'm glad Armando just mentioned Anthony Rizzo. Bottom line is, when Rizzo came in, Rizzo, he knew from day one, look, if we're going to win anything, it's going to start with me. It's going to start with me as a leader, win or lose. And I don't see Tim Anderson taking that responsibility. I see him getting into fights and cussing people out and doing stuff outside of baseball, but I don't see him being that leader, like not just in the locker room, but in the media also. I don't see him focusing on what's really going on the field. I see him coming at people outside of the organization, which is kind of like it's besides that. And then you got to ask yourself this question, Shawn: Is this the time that you guys need him to actually try to grow up in front of the media to be a leader? Because I think this is not the right time to watch him try to grow as a leader, because I think this is who he is. He's not going to change. So y'all probably need to outsource that leadership position to someone else. And if he decides to come along and mature, then great. It's almost like with Big Frank. Y'all know when y'all first won the World Series, a lot of times I guess they were kind of didn't like Frank's attitude. They felt like he wasn't clicking with the rest of the guys. So they kind of just X'd him out and just played baseball. And then whatever he can contribute, he contributed. And I think he was hurt that season, correct?
He was.
So they really didn't need him. Not trying to say that he was the end-all, but they really didn't need him. You see what I mean?
They didn't win because of him. He was on the team.
Exactly.
He was the guy on the team. He was at the tail end of his career. He was one of the guys on the team. As I said, they did not win the World Series because of Frank Thomas. He was just at that point. He was just one of the guys.
Exactly, and that's what this team has to do. Tim Anderson is not what they call it, the straw that stirs the drink. He's not Reggie Jackson, and even Reggie Jackson didn't really like the stuff that Reggie Jackson did. He regrets it later. Bottom line is that he needs to focus on baseball. That's it. Get all the extracurriculum stuff out of here. You have a once in a lifetime opportunity to take a team in the city of Chicago to a World Series with your talent and your skills. And because I think it's rubbing off on the younger guys to see that his lack of leadership ability, it's not transitioning into the baseball field.
Mm. Well, I disagree with you. He is the straw that stirs this drink. When Tim gets on base, he has multiple hit games. Well, up to this year, they would win. All right, and right now we're losing far too many games, and even with Tim having multiple hit games, 2 and 3 and 4 hit games, and they just can't get him over and get him in, and that's the issue. But he I guess I mean I don't know what to say then. I mean because he was the straw that stirred the drink and got people going, but when he's on, people don't bring him in like they did last year, the last couple of seasons. So maybe he needs to steal a base or two. But the biggest issue we've had is timely hitting. So we haven't had timely hitting, and that's Tim Anderson gets on, gets over, but you can't get him in.
But he got to get in his teammates' face. Like, this is his leadership ability. These are the abstract things. These are the intangibles that make you a leader. You have to be able to, okay, you understand situational hitter. If I'm getting singles or doubles, okay, I want to sit down and talk to the guy behind me and say, look, man, all you got to do is put the ball in play to move me over, okay? It don't necessarily got to be a triple, double. Just put the ball in play and move me over. And I think I don't know if that type of communication is happening amongst the guys because I think everybody their own individual star on the Sox team. You got Lou Bob, he's his own man. You know what I mean? You got Eloy Jimenez, he's his own man. Tim Anderson is his own man. Grandal is his own man. You see what I mean? So, but you have to be able to take all of that talent.
So you're saying too much individuality on the White Sox.
Exactly. Lucas Giolito, all of this, they're their own mans, but I don't see them sacrificing their talent and their skill level to bring it all together. I don't see the chemistry. But I think once they decide to put their egos aside, then that's when the chemistry is going to click. That's when it's going to click for them. But right now, I just don't see it. I don't see it from their pitcher staff. They DFA Dallas Keuchel, so he's no longer. Is he with the team? So he's gone. So then you got to fill those spots in from the guys that you're losing. And you're asking the young guys to step up, and it's kind of hard to do that in the middle of a season.
Yeah, believe me, I know. I know. But that is something that I've said to this point. There's far too much individual. They think that they're reading their press clippings. I think they're satisfied with being a Silver Slugger, a Gold Glove, a batting champion, an MVP. I think they're satisfied, and they think they've done something with those because of the individual awards. I don't, the phrase or the term I use is I don't see them being hunters. All right. They feel like they're the hunted. You're not the hunted. All right. You are the hunters. You're hunting. You're not beating any team. You're hunting your first World Series championship. And the mentality that they have is not one that I'm a big fan of. It's not. They feel satisfied. I don't know why. Maybe because this is the first team that's gone back-to-back playoff appearances in a long time. But if you get satisfied with that, I don't know what to tell you because their organization too. If they don't make the playoffs 3 to 5 years in a row, it's a letdown. So us just making it 2 years in a row, if that's where you want to chill, and here's my biggest thing: you got to the point where you made the playoffs 2 years in a row, and now you want to chill. You haven't gotten out of the first round in each of those 2 seasons, but now you want to chill. That to me is the biggest issue. That to me is what I've told Ivan and I had this conversation many times. Like there's no sense of urgency with this team. There's no eye of the tiger in this team. There's no, I have to get this done. You usually see contenders who are going after their first title. They're focused. They're laser focused. I use Jimmy Butler, with the Miami Heat. And I know he didn't make it, but his intensity is the type of intensity I wanted to see from this entire White Sox team, and I haven't. And that, to me, was the issue. I've said it all year long. I just don't. They're not. Everyone's like, oh, they start off slow. They do this. They do that. Okay, fine, but it's not the way they start off. I look in players' eyes. I, being a former player and a coach, I look at their body language. I look at their I listen to their interviews. I watch how they run the first. I look at all these things, and I'm like, they're not focused. They're not championship focused.
It's just year. like I told this kid in high school. His name, he plays. I think he's like a sophomore junior. Kid has all the talent in the world, but one day he was just like, I'm the man. Nobody can stop me. I'm unbeatable. I'm this, I'm that. And then I was like, well, bro, I sat in on your practice and you need to work on your left hand. Oh, boy. What did I say that for? He exploded. What I'm saying is that a guy like Tim Anderson, like, he's an excellent offensive guy, but he still needs to work on his defense. True? Okay? What I'm saying is that the biggest room in the world is the room for improvement. Sometimes when Tim Anderson is talking and the way he conveys his messages across the media is like he has no weaknesses. You see what I mean? And you don't want to come off as arrogant when your game can always improve. Just like with the Jackie comment. You see what I mean? Jackie Robinson, if people got to understand, this man all around game was spectacular.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he was still in home base consistently. You see what I mean? He was batting 300 consistently. He didn't have to hit for power because he has speed. What I'm saying is that that's a throwback. And he did it in an era where he was dealing with consistent racism. Okay? What does Tim Anderson have to deal with? He just has to deal with his ego. That's it. Tim Anderson is his own worst enemy. And my whole thing is, I'm going to say this. Tim Anderson's biggest problem, along with this White Sox team, is called delusional grandeur. Okay? You want to be delusional and think that individual accolades is the end all for this organization when you got a World Series manager. How many Tony win? 4, 5, 6?
No,
okay.
I think it's 3.
3? Okay. I know you won 2 with Oakland, right? 3 with the Cardinals?
No, 1 with Oakland and 2 with the Cardinals.
Okay, so you got 3. Okay. Bottom line is that, you got a winner. You got a guy who all you got to do is just listen to him and then follow through on the baseball field. But like I said, I think this is a disastrous situation when it comes to the leadership of the organization. I think some of the guys didn't want Tony La Russa there, so they're not giving that effort that's needed. And then in addition to that, you got a lot of guys doing their own thing. They're not listening to Tony La Russa, or they're not going to listen to the new manager that's going.
Which is exactly why I've said, and I will continue to get on the soapbox and preach, this is why they need Ozzie. This is why. I know he is a maverick. I know he's a wild card, no pun intended for Top Gun, but I know he's a guy who can pop off at the mouth. I understand this. Would you be happy? And here's my thing. Would you trade that for a World Series? Would you trade Ozzie going off for a much more legitimate chance at a World Series? Because the thing about it, how Ozzie's going to coach this team. Like, I don't know who in the front office. I don't know who can sit there and honestly say Ozzie wouldn't be the best guy for this job. Now, you may not like Ozzie. You may say, hey, he'd be great, but, we got to worry about the PR. We got to worry about this. We got to okay, fine. But there's nobody in that front office that cannot say Ozzie would be the best guy for this job. And not because I love Ozzie and because he was a World Series manager before. It's how he manages. Yes, that other stuff plays a factor in it, but it's how he manages. He challenges people. As a coach, as a manager, this is what you must do. You put your players in position to be successful, but you also must challenge them when they're getting complacent. You challenge them when they're getting comfortable. You challenge them when they want to rest on their laurels. And you call him to the carpet, and he will do that unequivocally. Now, how he does it, Okay, that's the issue. And you know what? The fact of the matter is some of these guys can't take it. Well, guess what? You're 25, 26, 27, 28, 30, I don't know, probably 45 years old. You need to grow up and take criticism from a man. Okay? When he's not directing his criticism toward you as a person. He's directing his criticism to you as a baseball player. And the egos of these young baseball players, because they're so talented, because they've been the best person on their team since probably Little League, they can't take it. But you know what? Welcome to the world. Welcome to real life.
And this is not the AAU circuit, okay? You're no longer an amateur at the end of the day, okay? You're a pro. And I'm going to say this last thing about Ozzie, man. If he takes over the team, man, there's going to be a fight in the locker room.
There will.
That. It will be a fight, a fisticuff. And it's going to be like with Dicker. When Dicker was the coach of the Bears, he's always willing to challenge someone to a fight. Buddy Ryan was the same way. So when you got this new generation clashing with the old school guys, like, it's needed, but it's always going to end with some type of physical confrontation or some type of threat. Because I'm telling you now, Shawn, these kids nowadays, and Shawn, you worked in the schools, they don't listen to nobody but the rappers on the screens. You see what I mean? They don't like listening. They want to do what they want to do. They feel like, if I made it here without you, why would I want to listen to you? Okay? Unless it's one of their peers. So, and it's getting like that. You be like, okay, self-governance. You govern yourself because you're out of control. Okay? And you don't want that with an organization like the White Sox, because you guys are starting to get the media attention that you're looking for, but the image that you guys are presenting is sending a message of dysfunction. And I'm not going to lie to you. It's kind of embarrassing.
I would say that, not only about embarrassing, but I think it's frustrating. I think it's frustrating. And you know what? Something needs to be done. Something needs to be done. This team is underperforming at a level, at a rate that it will be embarrassing if they don't make the playoffs. All right, this is the year that our window is open. This is the year that we're supposed to really be World Series contenders. And if we don't make the playoffs, or if we make the playoffs and get bounced in the first round for a third year in a row, yeah, that would be the ultimate embarrassment. And something would have to be done. That's why I said this year, to me, in my opinion, is Tony's last year. Because if he wins it, fine, he goes out on the top. If he doesn't, he'll be like, you know what? I'm tired. I've done everything with this team. I can't do anymore. So either way, I think this is Tony's last year, and the Sox fans and the Sox needs to get ready for a change at the helm. And I'm telling you, the best thing that they can do is bring Ozzie back. You understand the risks. You understand how he likes to run things.
Right.
But you also understand he's going to be the best guy for this job. And if you care about World Series, okay, which you obviously do, then you know what? You need to put all that aside. This is a business.
Right.
The business is the main goal, the ultimate goal for every team is to win the World Series. And if you have a guy that can do that for you, he's done it for you once already. You have an idea who can get the best out of these guys now, then you go for it. And damn your ego, put your egos behind, put your power, your power struggle, or you have a power trip. Leave that aside. Put your egos to the side, because this is the guy who's going to get it done. And yeah, you're going to need a cleanup man. You're going to need janitors there, because he's going to have to pick up a lot of messes from Ozzie. You're going to have to. We just know how he is. He's going to want to make his lineup. He's not going to take input from the front office. You've never played baseball. All right. I'm not putting you. I don't give a damn about your numbers. I'm going off of me. You're going to have to deal with that. But you know what? If it all pays off in the end of the World Series, guess what? It was worth it.
It's just like Joe Madden said, respect 90, okay? Besides all the jokes and games or whatever, just do your job. I think that was Joe Madden's overall message to that 2016 Cubs team. Look, I don't mind you guys having fun, but when it comes to the game, do your job. As Tom Thibodeau say, do your job.
Period. Well, listen, we got to move on to the last top of the morning topics. NBA Finals Game 1 last night in San Francisco was amazing. The Boston Celtics came back from, was it 14 down, or might even more? I don't remember what their biggest deficit was to beat the Golden State Warriors 120-108 to take a 1-0 lead in the NBA Finals, and they were down 12 points going in to the fourth quarter, and they ended up winning by 12? Unbelievable. Let me tell you, this is the one thing that I was concerned about with the Boston Celtics. I picked the Golden State Warriors in 6. All right, the one thing I was concerned about with the Boston Celtics was they are a very, 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 probably the most balanced team in the NBA.
That's right.
Jason Tatum. Jason Tatum had a horrible game yesterday. Horrible game. 12 points. I know he had 13 assists, but 12 points, you're expecting a lot more from him. He had 12 points and they still won by 12. They were down by 14, 8, 16, 18, whatever it was. I think they were down 20 at one point. No, it was 11 or 12. Right. And they came back. Listen, they outscored Golden State in the fourth quarter 40-16.
Wow. Unbelievable. Well, this is what I have to say. At the end of the day, I told my wife last night, I said, I want Boston to win. And for the simple reason and the simple fact that I think Golden State is getting a little bit too cocky. Okay? You know, you keep mentioning yourselves amongst the Chicago Bulls and how you will beat the 72-10 Bulls team and all of that. But let me tell you something. One thing you can't say about the Boston Celtics organization is that when it comes to championships, that they don't know how to win. They have, 17 championships right now? They've been to the finals 22 times, okay? Just think about it, okay? This is the most historical organization in the NBA, right? And you think that the veteran guys who played before these guys are not telling them, look, when Boston makes it to the championship, we do one thing. We win championships. That's it. And we don't fear the logo. We don't fear a Golden State Warriors team. We just don't fear them. And I think, like I said, Golden State was getting very cocky last night. And what they end up running into was a well-balanced team who can match them basket for basket. And defensively, let me send a shout out defensively. Defensively shut down their perimeter game. That's what I saw last night.
Well, I saw Tito Horford going crazy.
Oh yeah.
I saw Tito Horford.
Shout out to Al Horford, the man that got excellent game.
26 points, 6 boards. He was 6 for 8 from beyond the arc. That is huge. 6 for 8 from beyond the arc. Definitely not. You don't expect that from him. He could do it, but you just don't expect it. You're expecting Jason Tatum. You're expecting Jaylen Brown. You're expecting other guys like that, but not Tito Horford. But you know what? Tito Horford he's an old vet. This will probably be his best game of the series, and it came when they needed it most.
Exactly, and he outplayed Draymond Green because Draymond Green. I know that he does like high IQ things to keep his team in the game, but Tito Horford letting them know last night, like, I'm not afraid of you, Draymond. This is my time and this is my moment.
You know what I put, and this is on Thursday's rundown. I'm sorry, Wednesday's rundown. I was talking about the NBA Finals, and one of the things that I want to talk about, I said, does the long rest help or hurt the Warriors? I think it hurt the Warriors yesterday. They looked like they were just a little slow. Does the tough Eastern Conference matchups benefit the Celtics? Yes, it did, because they hadn't stopped playing. You know what I mean? Like, they didn't get they didn't get about a week off like the Golden State Warriors did. They were going, and look who they played. All right, you had to play the Miami Heat. You had to play the defending champion Milwaukee Bucks. You had to play the number 1 seed in the Miami Heat. Okay, they were battle tested.
Right.
They were battle tested, and look what happened. Look at Golden State. Remember, who was it? Devin Booker was out when they played Phoenix.
Right.
They seem to have catch the Western Conference teams, or the teams that they're playing in every series. They tended to catch them at the right time.
That's right.
Not at full strength.
Exactly, and that's smart. Like it's not fair when it comes to the NBA finals. You play the teams that you play, whether they're healthy 100% or whether they're injured. You have to go out there and play the games. But like I said, with Boston, they're not afraid to defend. They're
No,
not afraid to
no, not at
defend
all.
Golden State, and because see, Golden State. Remember, I was telling you, Sean, they play a lot of zone defenses. So most of their defenses are just like dress rehearsals, they're like shell covers. They do enough so they can get the ball on the offensive end and score. But when you go at them offensively, which they did, because Steph Curry can't play man-to-man defense. He's not a man-to-man guy. He's good in the zone. But when you go at a Steph Curry defensively, when you go at a Draymond Green defensively, when you go at these guys, I'm talking about on the offensive end, defensively, you challenge them to use their energy. So when it comes to them playing on the offensive end of the floor, they don't have the necessary energy to sustain over a four quarter game. So if Boston continues to do this, Jaylen Brown, I want to send a shout out to Jaylen Brown because Jaylen Brown, consistency, he actually got them back in the game because he was making big shots. Then Tito Horford took over in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, I don't know about the. I just think that they were rusty. I think
Rusty?
it took them. I know Steph came out crazy and had 18 in the first, but he only had like 12, 14 the rest of the game. So you're sitting there like, okay, what happened? I just think that they were a little fatigued.
Mm.
But at this stage of the game, you had a week off. You had a
Right.
week off.
Right.
So, any fatigue that like there should be no fatigue.
Right.
And you should understand that the Boston you see, it's not as if you haven't watched Boston. It's not as if you haven't scouted Boston. It's not as if you didn't watch the whole Eastern Conference Finals while you're off for a week. It's not like you
Right.
didn't do that. So you saw them. You know what Boston does. You played them twice in regular season. You understand
Right.
Boston is a physical team. You understand
Right.
Boston has a very balanced team. Boston
Right.
can go inside. Boston can go outside. They can
Mhm.
speed it up. They can slow it down. They can get physical. They can play with finesse. Boston
Right.
is a complete team. So you had a phenomenal understanding of what this team does. I just think Boston relied on everybody, which is what a team does. When one of your superstars is not on point that day, everybody else stepped it up, and that's
Right.
what they did. I just don't think that they were prepared for that
Right.
for everybody else going crazy like they did.
Right. And it was no secret. Like you said, Sean, they've been balanced all year. I think that loss to the Bulls in the regular season. Remember, we came back from like 30 points down.
Yep.
in defense? I think after that, that's when it clicked for them. They haven't turned back since then. And them adding Daniel Tice,
Okay, Tice back.
I think, yeah, Tice, baby. I think that was excellent. They got the right chemistry going right now. Nothing against Golden State. I don't want them winning it. I want Boston to win. For the simple fact that I just don't want Golden State building a false sense of security and they start promoting this whole thing that Steph Curry is the greatest player of all time. Because if he wins this one, they're gonna be like, he's greater than Michael, he's greater than this. Like I'm like, look, at the end of the day, the game has changed. And I'm kind of glad that Boston sent a message last night, like, look, we're not afraid of you guys. We can match up with you guys from top to bottom. Look at Steve Kerr's face. Steve Kerr been walking in a little arrogance too. Like you got Phil Jackson's coaching philosophy. You got Greg Popovich coaching philosophy. But guess who got Greg Popovich coaching philosophy also? The guy that's coaching the Boston Celtics because he played with San Antonio. So what I'm saying is that he knows how to match up with them very well. And he's a first-year coach.
Yeah. Listen, great stuff today, Joseph. I appreciate it, Papa.
All right, guys.
Again, you're gonna hang with little man at the park. You're going out this weekend with him, or what?
Yeah, we're gonna head downtown. Prayerfully, there's no violence going on because we out here in Indiana. So we haven't been downtown in a while. So probably we're gonna hang out downtown for a little bit today and just enjoy the weather. Take the boys out.
All right, great stuff, Papa. We'll see you on Monday. All right.
All right. God bless. Peace out.
All right.
Oh, I'm sorry. One more thing, Sean. Also, look at that stat that they mentioned that the Warriors have over 123 games of final experience compared to the Boston Celtics 0.
Yeah, I
So
saw that yesterday.
when they lost yesterday, it was no excuse.
Yeah. None of the Boston Celtics yesterday had any finals experience going to that game as opposed to everyone on the Golden State Warriors. So yeah, there was no excuse. They are at home in Golden State, in San Francisco. Yeah, there definitely was no excuse. And I'm concerned. I said the Warriors in 6. Sunday, which is game 2, now we're talking must win because you can't go to Boston. There's no way you can go to Boston down 2-0. 2-0.
That's right.
None.
All right.
There's no way you can go to Boston. So, all right, man.
guys,
You have a good
God
weekend.
bless
We'll
you.
talk soon.
All right. God bless. Peace out.
All righty. Guys, we got to take a quick break. And then the other side of the break, we're going to switch gears and we're going to talk. What do we got? White Sox talk coming up next. I was looking up something else. Yeah. Oh, man. Whew. Got some White Sox talk coming up. And we're going to talk NBA Finals later in the show. Maybe we'll push everything back. You know what? We'll figure it out. I'll figure it out. I've decided. There's just so much to talk about. You know what? I forgot to mention Joseph. We didn't get into Joseph, and Joseph would have loved it. Forgot to talk about LeBron James and his next level that he just reached. Unbelievable. He's the first NBA player to do the active NBA player to do it. We'll talk about that real quick, and then maybe stay with, and then we'll get back to some more sports on the other side of the break. So keep it locked right here, guys. Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago.
Mi desastre personal. ¿Qué voy a hacer cuando no tenga tu boca junto a la mía? ¿Qué voy a hacer cuando despierte y vea mi cama vacía? A encontrar la medicina que me sana este dolor. Soy un muerto que camina, que no vive sin tu amor.
AutomotiveMap.com presents the Sports Flash on the Sports Zone Chicago. The Cubs beat the Cardinals 7-5 on Thursday. Frank Schwindel hit a long solo homer and doubled among his 3 hits. Wilson Contreras went deep for the 3rd time in 4 games. Ian Happ also homered to help Chicago end the Cards' 3-game winning streak. Paul Goldschmidt doubled to extend his hitting streak to 24 games. He reached safely for a career-best 38th consecutive game. Cubs rookie Christopher Morel doubled, walked, and scored 2 runs, extending his career opening on-base streak to 16 games.
There's a drive out in the deep left center. That ball's going to get in there. 2 runs will score. Luis Robert with a 2-run double.
White Sox radio with the call in Thursday's 8-3 loss at Toronto. Johnny Cueto gave up 3 earned runs and 7 hits over 6 innings. For lightning fast sports updates, download the Score app. It's free and one of the most popular sports apps in North America. I'm Chuck Sanders. That's the Sports Flash on the Sports Zone Chicago.
Get Macy's lowest prices of the season and save big on summer style essentials, like 50 to 60% off all designer suits for an effortless touch of cool, 40 to 75% off fine jewelry to complete any look, and get ready to jet set with Tag Ridgefield luggage sets just $74.99. Plus, Macy's Star Rewards members earn on every purchase except gift cards, services, and fees. Sign up for free at Macys.com/Star Rewards. Savings off sale and clearance prices. Exclusions apply.
Hi, Tom Bodette here. Have you ever noticed how people talk in that same weird voice to their dogs? Just like this? Well, it sure gets a dog's tail wagging. Wondering if I can get your ears all perked up the same way when I tell you that pet stay free at Motel 6. With a clean, comfortable room and a great low rate. Now, who's a good human? I think you are. I'm Tom Bodette for Motel 6, the proud sponsor of pets, and we'll leave the light on for you. Yes, we will. Yes, we will.
On and 2 out. 2-2. Roberts sprays it to left center field. Up the alleyway it goes on a hop and high off the wall. 1-run home. Garcia scores. It's a 4-2 ball game. Luis Robert carves the alleyway in left center, and suddenly the Sox are right back in it.
No upset with himself.
Welcome back to Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago. That clip courtesy of NBC Sports Chicago. That was Luis Robert. Lou Bob yesterday cutting the lead in half from 4-0 to 4-2. They went on to cut it to 4-3 with the next batter. Unfortunately, at that point, it was all Blue Jays after that.
You know, Joseph said something that was, I think it's perfect to describe the personnel of the White Sox. Individual superstar. They're not a team. It doesn't feel like they're a team. You could say, I mean, we could talk about injuries, but I just don't feel like each guy is buying into each other. Maybe you have maybe, and I don't even want to speak to it, but maybe there's fragments, in the clubhouse, fractures in the clubhouse. There's cliques in the clubhouse. And, when you have cliques in the clubhouse or a locker room, it's usually not good. You know what I'm saying? When you start fracturing up, it's not good. I'm not saying the White Sox are close to that, like where it's doom and gloom, but the guys are going to have to buy into each other more than, the individual accolade, the buying into the individual accolades that, you pointed out before, Shawn. Also, it's like, you sit here and wonder, when is it going to turn? Is it going to turn on when Lance Lynn, or is Lance Lynn going to be ready to go firing at 100, at 100% all cylinders when he gets back? I don't think so. It just seems to me that the consistent here, and it's funny because playing that Yohan clip, with Tony being how Tony is, and not, I mean, you're gonna get old school type of baseball. I think that's rubbing off on these players a little wrong. And also I think all this White Sox problem really started as soon as Yo-Yo made that music video. I'm just pointing it out there. I think you could circle it to that moment where everything kind of just started going, shoo. It's like, what are we doing? That's not baseball. I don't know. Maybe that's just me.
I think it might be you, but I can't argue it. I might be coming at you because you're a Cub fan, but you do have to sit there and say, since he's made that video, he hasn't hit very well. Since he's made that video, his confidence has been in the shitter. Since he's made that video, his body language looks, when he comes to he is not a confident hitter. He's not a confident hitter at all. All right. We've seen 2019 when he was third in the American League in batting, when Tim Anderson won the batting title, that was a confident hitter. That was a much more confident, not even much. He was confident. He's not confident right now. He's not confident. So I can't even say much more confident. His confidence is shot. Okay. His confidence is shot. Ever since he made that video, yeah, he hasn't been that dude, and it's frustrating.
And it's hard to put it on the whole White Sox team. Like, since he made that, I mean, obviously you could say you're correct with Yohan, but I just feel like that's part of it. You know what I mean? I feel like that was the first time where I was like, that's a little odd. You know what I mean? Like it is what it is. He made the video. It is what it is now. But it just seems to me like that point was when all these questions started to pop up now. You know what I mean? Then you lose to the A's in the first round, and then you fire, you know what I'm saying? And then all these things start to happen, and it's just become really frustrating to watch the White Sox right now, which I don't understand. I felt like it's sooner or later, I feel like they could make a run, obviously if they get healthy, but if the energy and the will of the clubhouse isn't there, if they're not buying into each other, like I said, if that buy-in isn't there, I don't know what to say about this team. They're not the team that we all thought.
There's a lot of hope. All right, but you're right. Everyone's got to get on the same page. So they were talking on the post game yesterday, Chuck and Ozzy, and they were talking about the 0-3 Marlins. And if the 0-3 Marlins is, sorry, Cub fans, that's the Bartman incident. But they were 10 games under 500, I want to say, at this particular point of the season. And they came back and won the World Series. So it's possible. Okay, he said, but that Marlins team went on a 17-game win streak as well. So, again, I don't need a 17-game win streak for us to be good. I just need series. Give me a 6 or 7 series streak, I'll be happy. Okay, that's what because we're going to sweep. If we win 6 or 7 series in a row, we're going to sweep 1 or 2 of those, which is going to give us 6 wins in a row at some point. Okay, nothing too crazy. Okay, enough to stay under the radar, because everybody will have everyone's going to have a 4 or 5 game winning streak. Okay, but then we'll come back and we'll have a 4. then come back and have a 5, then come back and have a 4, then come back and have a 6. Something like that is what I need from this team. It can be done. Can Tony do it? I don't know. I honestly don't know. Not with this group. Not with this group.
Do you think Dallas Keuchel? Remember when Steve Stone got on him and stuff, because it seemed like he was more, and maybe it's just his frustration from not having it anymore. Obviously DFA'd, but do you think some of that frustration was not only him, but maybe things that are going on in the clubhouse, things that he didn't like, and or things that he wasn't in favor of in the clubhouse, or maybe even other guys weren't in favor of the clubhouse, or is it just him being frustrated that he don't have it anymore? You know what I'm saying? Like maybe there's some truth, or maybe there's something else between that, like that we don't hear or we didn't know about. And I'm not saying that it would have changed his fortune because he just didn't have it, but they brought him in to be a leader and such, and it just didn't pan out. Remember that? You brought in Dallas Keuchel to be, a leader, like maybe a number 2, an ace for the meantime. I know you had big pitchers coming up, but you had him there for a purpose. Maybe do you think that there was something in there? Do you think he saw something that we don't see?
Oh, I agree. Yeah, completely. I think that's 100% true. How many times did he throw his team under the bus? Remember, he threw his White Sox team under the bus. And remember, we went at him for that. I know I did for sure. But then that was my mistake. Was say, he probably should have done it, but why did he do it? Why did he throw his team under the bus? All right, you have to remember, this guy's a former Cy Young Award winner, a World Series winner with the Astros. This guy's been in the championship clubhouse. This guy's been around winners. And so when you don't get that vibe, when you don't get that winning vibe, it's easy for many people to lash out. And I think that's what happened with Dallas. And he lashed out because, one, he wasn't living up to doing his part. Okay. 2, he probably saw a clubhouse that wasn't championship ready. As much as we want to put him in the world, in the ALCS, in the World Series, he saw it from a different point of view, and like, these guys aren't it. And maybe he didn't like the attitude. Maybe he was pissed about Yo-Yo making his video, saying, "Hey, that has nothing to do with staying focused." I have a source here in Chicago who told me, man, he goes, Yo-Yo's always out. This guy's on that scene. Let me tell you, he is part of that scene, that nightclub going out scene. All right, and he's telling me, he goes, Yo-Yo's always out, man. He's got to decide what the hell he wants. Do you want to be a World Series contending team, or do you want to be the guy who parties all the time in the Windy City? Okay, that's what he's got to do. And it's not. Don't trust me. Don't get me wrong. The White Sox aren't 3 games under 500 because of Yoan Moncada. He's part of the reason they're 3 games under 500. So but he's not the reason.
Should we worry about Yoan and more than we were worried about Tristan Thompson? Should we be worried about Yoan going out here and having 13 kids with no? I mean, and I'm joking about that, but
no, you're not joking, dude, because he's out. My guy tells me he's out.
You're right.
So he's out. You're not focused.
Right. You know what I'm saying? Right. And even I give Tristan. You had nothing about Tristan Thompson in Chicago when he was here, right? You heard nothing about it. But if we're hearing about this now, and you're telling me, right. Well, I mean, still, the cup of coffee it could be a long cup. It could be a big cup of coffee.
Big gulp.
But no, right. You have questions about a guy that's supposed to be, he's supposed to be one of the guys. He's part of the core. He should be part of the core, and I feel like he's part of the core that's not going to be a part of the core in a little bit if he continues on this trajectory. But this focus that you talked about, that's a big part. And I know you're young, you have a bunch of money, and you want to come on, man. we're all young. You know, I mean, some of us do better than others, but you're a Major League Baseball player, your team's struggling, and if you're out every night in Chicago or whenever you're here in Chicago and you're constantly going out, I mean, I don't know how that looks to your teammates or if they're out with you, but maybe something needs to change. You know what I'm saying? Maybe something needs to change.
Not maybe, something does, because you have to get. I believe me, I get it. I understand. You're young. All right, you got the world by the short and curlies. You're a multi-million-dollar athlete. I don't get that part. I didn't get that. I didn't get that part when I played. But there's got to come a point in time where the most important thing in your life, okay, besides his daughter, is baseball. That got you that got you where you're at now. That got you that multi-million-dollar contract that you have now, where you don't have to worry, and your grandkids won't have to worry. Okay? Baseball's what did that to you, did that for you. Don't disrespect the game now. What did I just say? You're going to get to the big leagues and chill now? Now you're going to chill? Now you're going to chill? You're the number one player in the minor league system. When you were with Boston, the number one player, numero uno. You get to the bigs and now you want to chill? It don't make any sense to me. You know, again, it's the way people are raised. Because if I'm the number one anything, guess what I'm doing? I'm busting my ass. There was an old saying, there was an old Nike ad in the paper. And I have it somewhere. It's stored away somewhere, but I still have it. When I get it, it'll be up on the wall. And it said, somewhere, someone out there is training. And when you meet in head-to-head competition, he'll beat you. Dude, that just sent chills on my arm, up my spine. That gave me goosebumps right now. Just that thought alone. Someone's training somewhere, gonna beat me. No freaking way. I'm the best. I'm the number one, this person, number one kid out of high school, number one kid out of college, number one kid in the minors, number one kid in college football, number one kid in college basketball, number one kid in hockey. I don't give a damn. What does that mean? That means it's a bullseye on my back. That means people are coming at me. Guess what? You know what? I'm going to show them why I'm the number one player. That's my mentality. I wish that mentality would translate to these guys who are number one, because I was never the number one prospect at anything. I was good, real good, never number one. And him chilling right now, and I'm not saying struggling. We all struggle, all right? Superstars struggle. Barry Bonds struggled, okay? Cal Ripken struggled. Everybody struggles. It's not about the struggle. It's about your focus. It's about your desire, your maniacal desire to be the best. And there's no maniacal. You know what? That's it. There is no maniacal desire. But people say, dude, you're fucking crazy. What the hell's wrong with you? There's no desire for them to be the best. There's no maniacal desire for the Sox team to win the World Series. None. I hate to say it about your Cubs. There was a maniacal desire that year in 2016. They got to the NLCS in 15, and they're like, oh, hell no, this is not good enough. They were focused in a way I've seen few teams focused. They don't have that desire, and again, it's killing me, because if you had scrubs, you had guys who were middle of the road, 6th, 8th, 10th round draft picks starting and playing. Okay, I get it to an extent, because even at that point you can still give all your energy. But you get top guys, dude. Yo-Yo was the number one player in the minor league system, all of minor league baseball. And who came around and said it was even better? Eloy. And who came around later and said it was even better? Lou Bob. So you got guys whose talent is here, but their heart and the maniacal desire to win doesn't match their talent. That's the issue for me.
You know, Yoan's, we'll just read his slash line: 65 at bats this year, 9 hits, 2 home runs, 0.138 batting average, 4 runs, 5 RBI, no stolen base, 1.760 on base percentage,
OPS.
2.46 slugging, OPS 4.23. It's just not good. It's just not good. Like flat out, it's not good. I don't know. I think it's going to come to a point where it's like, what are you going to do with Yoan Moncada? You know what I'm saying? Like, what are you going to do with Yoan Moncada? You thought he was going to be this big thing, and that you invested so much into him, and he's not producing. You know what I mean? There needs to be a shakeup. There needs to be like somebody needs a spanking. You know what I mean? Like in a sense, there needs to be some repercussions to what's going on. You know what I'm saying? There needs to be that. I don't understand why a guy who's highly touted and can go ahead and make music videos is batting 138 with 2 home runs, and you're supposed to be part of this core. It just doesn't. And I know the music video is a long time ago, or I guess it is, but to me, there needs to be something done. There needs to be something done about it. Something really real that's in your face, like, whoa, this is reality. This is the team we are.
This is what needs to happen. This is what needs to happen, because here's what we don't know. We don't know what Yo-Yo's made of. Okay, we don't. He needs to be put on Front Street. I know you accused me, and probably rightfully so, last time of kind of giving him a pass. All right, last 2 years or so. Okay, he needs to be put on Front Street. He needs to be benched. Tony said, "Hey, you know what? Yo-Yo's not. He's not performing. Not he needs to clear his mind. Not we're going to give him some time off. No, he's benched. There's a different feel. There's a different feel to that punch that you get, because you're going to be you're benched if whatever he says, whether he needs time or whether we're going to give him a day off to record. No. Your ass is getting benched. But if Tony comes out in the media and says, yeah, you know what? Yoan's not getting it done, he's going to sit a while. That'll kick you harder in the gut than the other stuff. And then now we're going to see what you're made of. Now we see what Yo-Yo's made of. Are you going to come back? You're going to fight? Because you might not play for 3 days, 4 days. Jake Berger, the Sox are going to gladly give up some of the defensive prowess. And although Jake has been very decent, a lot more surprisingly good, above average third base. I didn't think he'd be that nimble. But they will give up a little defensively for the offensive output he's given us. And Yo-Yo, now you got to sit there on the bench and watch another Berger bomb fly out of the ballpark. You got to sit on the bench, watch Berger look like a fat guy with quick feet, snare a hot shot down the line, get up and throw the guy out. You got to sit there on the bench and watch Berger walk off the game with a shot to the gap, driving in a run from first. And then we got to see what you do. Then we got to see what you can do. How do you respond? Do you pout about it? Do you ask for a trade? Or do you say, hey, listen, the next time I get in, because they're going to need you for a pinch hit, you might DH, you get on base. What can you do to make this team better? Yo-Yo, what can you How many stolen bases did he have, Ivan?
None. It reminds me like running out Corey Patterson out there or something, like Felix PA. You know what I mean? That's what it reminds me of. These it's going to be the guy, and just not the guy, and you keep marching them out there, and to be honest, I don't even think they're marketing Yo-Yo like that. I don't think they can market Yo-Yo like that anymore.
Not anymore?
It can't. It's got to be. You got to show Tim. You got to Abreu, Luba, those guys. Like, you can't market him like a superstar right now. I just don't see it. It's not. First of all, it's not on the field. It's not in his stats. You don't see it.
Yeah, you don't. So it's he needs to come to Jesus moment. Yoan needs a come to Jesus moment. And Tony, you're an all-star. I'm sorry, you're a Hall of Fame manager. If you don't see this kid needs some tough love, okay? If you don't see that, then you're You got cataracts or something, Papa. Because that's what athletes need. Tough love. Tough love. And you don't have to be a jagbag about it. You could just go up to him and say, hey, listen, you're not performing very well. All right, you're not performing very well. We're 5 games back. We got to make a run. You're not helping us. You need to sit. I need you to stay ready so you don't have to get ready because Jake Berger has an injury. We need a pinch hit. Someone else. Who knows? You need to stay ready. That'll show you where he's at. That'll show you if he gets pissed off and you start seeing him taking extra batting practice, knowing he's not going to play. See him, he's working in the field. He's doing a lot more stuff. That now you say, okay, this guy he might have just needed someone to pull it out of him. And guess what? That's what managers, coaches do. That's your job. It's not all yo-yo. I just went off on him because he is a huge part of this team that's not producing. Lewis Roberts, producing. Tim Anderson, producing. Jose Abreu, starting to produce. But my guy needs to produce. And he's not. And there have to be repercussions. This is sports. You don't produce, you got to sit. It can't be politics over performance. It can't. You can't be like, well, Yo-Yo, he got that big contract. No, sorry. You're not producing. Sit. Clear your mind for 6-10 games. Means your ass got to come to the game every day, to the stadium every day, warm up every day, knowing you're not going to play. How mentally tough are you then? How committed to being a champion are you then? Are you going to steal bases if you get on? Like, there's so many different ways that Yo-Yo, if Yo-Yo played, he walked. First of all, not, okay? Get on base, however, by any means necessary. 1, get more aggressive. Stop taking those strike 3 pitches. Those called third strikes. That's what I meant to say. Stop looking at those called third strikes because there was a little outside of the zone. You don't have that luxury. You saw what that did to you when he struck out over 200 times in 2018. You saw that. What happened in 2019? You're more aggressive. Be more aggressive. Get on base. Steal bases. The window for pro athletes, for baseball players to be able to be a base stealing threat is small. 4 years, 6 years max. Unless you train for sprinting, which I know he doesn't. Then you need to do whatever's necessary. Defense, yes. If he was making phenomenal stops and getting on base and stealing, maybe not hits, walks, getting hit by pitch, whatever you got to do to get on base, sacrifice fly. But then you're stealing bases, now you're providing value. Because 1 stolen base puts you in scoring position. But you're not disciplined at the plate. Which is why I say he needs to sit. I love my guy Yo-Yo. You've been listening to my show. I love me some Yo Moncada, man. As far as the White Sox, I'd get his jersey first before anybody. TA, Lou Bob, Abreu, I'd get Yo-Yo.
He's got the autograph romper in the closet.
I didn't want you to put my business out in the street like that, Ivan.
My bad.
Okay.
I thought they knew.
Now they do. He's just kidding. I was just messing. But there's repercussions. There has to be. All right. And I told you before the season started. I had extra time to tell you because it was a lockout. Watch Yo-Yo. As Yo-Yo goes, so does this team go. Remember I said that? As Yo-Yo goes, so does this team this year. Yo-Yo's going to be he's the linchpin for this team. Because TA is going to do what TA is doing now. We knew he was going to do that. Jose Abreu's warming up. We knew he was going to do that. He's a notorious slow starter. Luba, we knew we anticipated him taking a big step forward, and he's doing that. But to me, the key this year was Yoan Moncada, and he's having a bad year. A very bad year. His confidence is shot. I'm not sure where his mind is at. Because I'll tell you this, it damn sure isn't laser focused on winning a World Series. And this is the part of maturity that I don't know if Yoan Moncada has. You don't have to hit a home run to be an asset to this team. You don't got to hit a double to be an asset to this team. What you got to do is not strike out. What you got to do is if it's a pitch that's close, foul it off, stay alive so you can get a walk. What you got to do is bunt for a double like you did a couple of weeks ago. Get on base. Now you can run the base paths. Now you put pressure on the defense. You can be a contributor by more than just hitting home runs or driving in runs. You can score a lot of runs. And I would imagine someone has told him this. I don't think he's going to sit there with Jose Abreu and Tim Anderson and all those guys over there and the front office. I would imagine that they would not forget to tell him that. Now it's all on him. I love you, Papa. I love me some Yoan Moncada, man. But right now you are just playing some bad baseball. You got to go back to the basics. Is what it is. Don't get me wrong, this pitching staff has got to help. Johnny Cueto, but we knew with Johnny Cueto, man. We knew Johnny Cueto was going to go 7+ every game. He had the first 2 starts were good. The last 2 starts, So now what, you know what I mean? We don't understand. We're not sure. But my man Yo-Yo, man, it's hard. People talking smack to me about my guy. I got to take it. Nothing else I could do, man. I'm a big fan of his. I think he is unbelievably talented. He's a 5-tool player. But he's not living up to expectations. That, my friends, is the most disappointing thing of all. All right, we got to take a quick break. And on the other side of the break, we're going to switch gears. We're going to talk some more sports. We got Cubs to talk. We got NBA Finals to talk. We got Bears to talk. So don't go anywhere, folks. Keep it locked right here. Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago.
AutomotiveMap.com presents the Sports Flash on the Sports Zone Chicago. The Cubs beat the Cardinals 7-5 on Thursday. Frank Schwindel hit a long solo homer and doubled among his 3 hits. Wilson Contreras went deep for the 3rd time in 4 games. Ian Happ also homered to help Chicago end the Cards' 3-game winning streak. Paul Goldschmidt doubled to extend his hitting streak to 24 games. He reached safely for a career-best 38th consecutive game. Cubs rookie Christopher Morel doubled, walked, and scored 2 runs, extending his career opening on-base streak to 16 games.
There's a drive out in the deep left center. That ball's going to get in there. 2 runs will score. Luis Robert with a 2-run double.
White Sox radio with the call in Thursday's 8-3 loss at Toronto. Johnny Cueto gave up 3 earned runs and 7 hits over 6 innings. For lightning fast sports updates, download the Score app. It's free and one of the most popular sports apps in North America. I'm Chuck Sanders. That's the Sports Flash on the Sports Zone Chicago.
Get Macy's lowest prices of the season and save big on summer style essentials, like 50 to 60% off all designer suits for an effortless touch of cool, 40 to 75% off fine jewelry to complete any look, and get ready to jet set with Tag Ridgefield luggage sets just $74.99. Plus, Macy's Star Rewards members earn on every purchase except gift cards, services, and fees. Sign up for free at Macys.com/Star Rewards. Savings off sale and clearance prices. Exclusions apply.
Hi, Tom Bodett Dad here. Have you ever noticed how people talk in that same weird voice to their dogs? Just like this? Well, it sure gets a dog's tail wagging. Wondering if I can get your ears all perked up the same way when I tell you, that pet stay free at Motel 6. With a clean, comfortable room and a great low rate. Now, who's a good human? I think you are. I'm Tom Bodette for Motel 6, the proud sponsor of pets, and we'll leave the light on for you. Yes, we will. Yes, we will.
It's a romance sport. What? It's a romance sport. Yeah, yeah. It's a romance sport. Yeah, it's a romance sport like that. This one going out.
Welcome back to Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago on this TGI Mickey Ficky Friday. It's the weekend, baby. It's not Memorial Day weekend. That was last weekend. That was a big, big weekend. It's kind of like the first weekend after. It's the first weekend after, so it's kind of like a chill weekend. The weather's going to be 70s, 80s. That was nothing too crazy. Maybe people are recovering from last weekend. You know, as you get older, you realize you can't do this shit. Can't party as much as you want. Oh, beautiful. 78 today, 75 tomorrow, 75 on Sunday, possible rain on Sunday. So kind of a chill weekend. Gustavo Willow in the house. What's up, Papa? How are you? You are late as hell, boss. What's up, Papa? Hope everything's all right. Thanks for tuning in. We appreciate it. We appreciate it. Looking forward to it, man. It's a beautiful day. It's sunny. Got to take a walk with moms in a little while. Maybe after lunch. I'm not sure. But man, enjoy it. If you're in Chicago, guys, you're in and around the Chicagoland area, you're in the best city in the world, baby. The best city in the world. There's things to do. They have this pop-up thing. Shit. It's like a cowboy pop-up thing right there on Elston, right off the expressway. I'm thinking about going to this weekend. Bring your cowboy boots. I can borrow a pair of cowboy boots from my cousin and a cowboy hat. You know, Mexicano, he's got a big cowboy hat. You know, he's from the ranchero, from the rancho.
You sure it wasn't just a birthday party? Quinceañera?
No, because that's how they dress. But that's how that big portion of my family dresses. But I want to check it out. They got axe throwing. It's supposed to be like a country western thing, but hey, Mexicans wear cowboy boots too, man. So with that, I just don't have the big matching belt. I won't have the matching belt buckle. So, but yeah, I want to check that out this weekend. My boy Julio Sierra, same last name, but no relation. He's Honduran. He's DJing at a couple of different spots this weekend. He posted he's at 5 or 6 different spots this weekend. A lot going on. Enjoy Summertime Shy. It is here. You can wear your white pants now, gentlemen. We're able to wear our white pants now because it's after Memorial Day, so we're good. So you got a pair of white linen pants or white, chinos. You can wear those. So we're good. We're good to go. I'm looking forward to this weekend. It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. Talk about fun. How about a 3-game win streak? That's fun. All right, Chicago Cubs are on a 3-game win streak, and granted, they're still 7 games under 500, but they're on a 3-game win streak, and they are fun, exciting, and getting back to what I said they needed to, and that's fundamental baseball. All right, I said for this team to be good this year, they'd have to get and stick to fundamental baseball. Well, guess what? They're doing it. All right, they're doing it, and there's a lot of questions that are happening now. All right, you're playing fundamental baseball. What happened yesterday? I mentioned it earlier. What happened yesterday? Runner on first and second, nobody out. Nicky 2 strikes at the plate. Lays down a bunt to the third baseman. Baseball 101. Baseball 101. Now, it didn't work out in the Sox. They didn't do it in the Sox game. And I'm like, why aren't you bunting? The guy hits a double. I was like, oh, okay, that's why he didn't bunt. But the Cubs are playing good baseball. And here, you know what? Here's the biggest thing with them. You got a lot of guys now. You have a lot of guys who are interesting possibilities for next season and beyond. You need to start looking at some of those players, getting them some extended time. You know how Matt Nagy didn't do for Larry Borum and Tevin Jenkins last year when he wanted to start J.C. Peters at left tackle? Remember that? Yeah, not like that. You got to start getting guys, oh, okay, let's take a look at this guy, see where, if he fits. See where or if he fits moving forward. All right? You got Keegan Thompson. He's 6-0. He might be an all-star. Put it this way. How can he not be an all-star? He might not get voted. Well, they don't vote the pitch, but whoever the manager is, how can you overlook a guy who's 6-0? And I know we have till July to go. It's next month. And hopefully he doesn't go 0-4. But what if he gets 2 more wins? What if he gets 3 wins? Ivan, what if the freaking dude gets 4 more wins and 10-0 going into the All-Star break?
Well, then I would guess who might have a Cubs All-Star. I mean, I don't know. This is something that I didn't expect to have, which I'm thankful that Keegan Thompson's having such a great year. He's young enough to stay on this team where I don't think at the deadline he's going to be traded for anything. Maybe I'm wrong, but surprise, that's all I could say. I'm pleasantly surprised with how he's been pitching. Every time he comes out, you know, they had mentioned on the broad, he just does whatever he does what you need of him. You know what I'm saying? He's done everything that the Cubs have asked of him, and he's done it exceptionally well. So I'm pleasantly surprised. That's all I can say about Keegan Thompson. I hope he keeps it up. This Cub team, you had mentioned how fun they are. Like, they are fun. Like, at the beginning of the year, it was like, what are we going to see? What are we going to see? And then, you know, when you give it a shot to say, all right, we're not going to be World Series contenders this year. But when you start to see the outline of what could be a really solid core and a fun team, you know what I mean? That is a team and not a group of individuals. I like what the Cubs are doing. Nick Madrigal comes back. He's doing a job playing base. Nick now seems like he's not pressing. You know what I'm saying? After he came back, he doesn't seem like he's pressing. He seems like he's just, all right, this is where I'm at. Like, this is my team. I'm on the Cubs. Like, this is where I'm at. I'm going to, try to be the best ball player I could be. And that's all you could ask from a guy, man. That's all you hope that you could get the best from a guy day in and day out. And I'm not saying that he wasn't giving us his best. I'm just saying the comfortability of being here, when you finally settle in, things could start, firing at all cylinders. You know what I'm saying? He could start, raking, pretty soon, I would hope, because I think he could be a huge contribution with his bat, not only, with his eye and his plate appearances, but actually hitting. This Cubs team's fun. They're not gonna win a lot of games. I don't imagine, but you can see the outline of what might be here in the future. Hopefully that concludes Wilson Contreras, because he's hitting the living crap out of the ball, and he just continues to do it. Like, it's impressive, man. It's impressive. Like, that guy deserves to be on this team in the future. I want Ian happy. I want all these. Like, I want guys that you've seen, like some leaders from the past. Like, if Hap could stay on here, he could get on a roll and be a leader on this team. Wilson, obviously, I want to see him stay here as a leader on this team. I just don't. I don't know. I don't know who's next, right? And I think that part isn't as scary anymore, and it's more exciting. right? Because who's coming next? Keegan Thompson's, now you see somebody that's starting to shine. Keegan Thompson is starting to shine. Steele was pretty solid, or has been pretty solid this year as well. Other than Kyle Hendricks, and I've had, I don't know what's going to happen with Kyle. It's exciting. The unknown has become, instead of being fearful, it's become exciting now because you're seeing guys like Keegan Thompson perform, Christopher Morel performing and go out there, and you're seeing more guys come up. They just brought up the Puerto Rican Vasquez. He's his Morel's buddy in right field. So it's starting to become exciting. Don't jump the gun or anything like that. You're gonna see growing pains. You're gonna see some bad baseball, yet. But that's all I can say. Like,
you're also gonna see flashes, though, bro.
But
you're gonna see flashes. You're gonna see flashes of Morel. You're gonna see flashes of these young guys and say, "Oh snap! This is why they brought him up." And that's the whole. Remember, I told you it was about 4 years ago at Sox Fest when all the White Sox were. These guys were still in the minors, and Frank said, "Hey, listen, put them all in Double-A." He goes, "I don't care if they're single or triple. They need to be single or triple. Put them all in Double-A and have them come up together, learn to play together." This is what the Cubs are doing now in the bigs. There's a whole bunch of young guys who they anticipate, or if nothing else, they're trying to see if they can be part of this squad. And don't forget, you got Caleb Killian down there in Iowa. He's got a 2.06 ERA. Bring him up. Give him some pitching. Yeah, he's going to get rocked. Okay? But how does he perform? What if he doesn't get rocked initially? But he's going to get rocked eventually. Sit and say, "Hey, now listen. Welcome to the big leagues. How do you handle this? Okay? How do you handle this? You see him come at it? Okay, good. Now I need more film work. I need to maybe not tip my pitches. I need to have a better approach when I'm on the mound." Okay, this guy can do now. Now you have pitching. Remember, you guys would always buy pitching. You would never develop pitching. You would always buy pitching, and that was Theo's method, and it worked. Got you a World Series. Jets is a little different. So now you're developing pitching. You're bringing pitching up through the minors, in addition to position players. So you know what? Get all these young guys up there. Take your lumps this year, maybe even part of next year. But I don't even think so, because you got Wisdom, who was here last year, who's been playing obviously much more comfortable. You got Frank the Tank, who was here, Schwindel, who was here last year, who's obviously now a little more comfortable. You got guys here now it's not their first rodeo. You have what's his name, Nicky Two Strike. They don't need to get comfortable. They are vets now.
And they're young, but they're still.
But they're young,
younger. Like this, they need it. Like this needs to be where their moment, right? This needs to be where their career takes off. But they're young enough to do so. Look at last year. Remember Crosstown Classic? We didn't know who the hell Frank Schwindel was.
No,
we were like, who the hell is Schwindel? And then they had another guy that they sent down. We're talking about who the heck is Wisdom, and it looked even worse last year because they had a bunch of guys that are no longer here. And I'm not talking about the big three, but some other guys after the fact that we're like, all right, he ain't going to be around. But now that you see it, it's like, all right, okay, they have some core pieces. I think Schwindel's going to be a part of it. I think Wisdom's still going to be a part of it. I want Willie to be a part of it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want them to keep a couple of key veterans that I think, not only obviously with Willie with his talent, but would add in the clubhouse because of that World Series experience from Willie. I mean, Kyle, like I said, I think Kyle is going to stay. Obviously, it's a question because he's been struggling if he's going to go, but I think Kyle stays for that experience. We'll see. We'll see what they do. They need to stop messing around with Willie's money, though. I understand where they're at. I understand it's a business, but sometimes you can't put a price on leadership, and you can't put a price on a clubhouse that is not fractured whatsoever. You know what I'm saying? A clubhouse that's a tight-knit clubhouse that has a vocal, energetic, passionate leader like a Wilson Contreras.
1.2. That's all you're a part? Is that like, come on.
I get it. Like, you could probably sign a couple of young guys. You know what I mean? You could probably sign dirt cheap, somebody that's you think is talented, and you're just, all right, here's this and this. You might even split it up amongst a few smaller name guys. But I just think for what you want to become, like, if they really think that they're going to turn this around next season by getting rid of a veteran like Wilson Contreras and signing some guy that wasn't a part of what's going on. I just don't think that's gonna turn out well for us. I think you need to show some type of loyalty after you cut ties with the three biggest Cubs names, and forever. Like, I know we've had names before, but you're talking about Bryant, Rizzo, and Baez. Those were the Cubs. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, those were the Cubs. Figure it out with Wilson Contreras. I don't want to see Willie gone. Willie's the heart and soul.
It's 1.2, man. Give him a 1.2. What is the issue of giving the guy, your leader, an extra 1.2 million? I hope when it's all said and done, when he goes arbitration, and if it doesn't get the 1.2, gets like extra 800,000, the Cubs just say, you know what, here we screwed up. We screwed up. Here's your 1.2 that you're asking, the extra 1.2, and be done with it. All right. It to me that boggles my mind. It really, really does. It really, really does. What are you gonna do with Hayward? You got this year and next year when his contract expires. So you still got money on that, but
we know what.
You got Heiya Suzuki out in right field. Then you got Morrell in center field. You can't put a Jason in right. All right. Then they just brought up from AAA another right fielder, Vasquez. You said so. Now where's Jason Hayward? Is he going to continue to play? You want to put him at DH? What do you want to do with Jason? Because he's got money that's just literally just sitting on the bench. You try and find a trade partner for him? And if you do, are you going to have to eat some of that contract? Because Jason Hayward at this point doesn't need to be on the Cubs. He needs to be with somewhere else. He's having a horrible season. Okay, he's 208. He's hitting at least above the Mendoza line. 551 OPS. Dude, the guy's having a horrible season.
It's been the same. Not Jason Hayward, the man. Not Jason Hayward, the defensive all-star. The defensive Gold Glover. Jason Hayward, since he's been on the Chicago Cubs, has not hit consistently enough to, I guess, I know you get paid for past performance, but to justify the Cubs giving them that $180 million contract. It's just point blank facts. You can check. No, not only these stats, Shawn, look at the past, 4 or 5 years. You know what I'm saying? Look at those stats as well. They're the same. It's a mirror image of each year, except, you just happen to, he's good for the clubhouse. Like, that's all I could think of. Like, Jason's good for the clubhouse, and that's probably, other than that, and his glove, and him being a good guy, okay, where's he got to go? Where's he got to go, and what do you have to eat? Because you already made a mistake, right? There's already been a mistake made. Correct the mistake and get it off, and just get it, get it done. Get it done. Don't let it bleeding like this. Like, if you could trade him and eat some of that contract, do it. But I don't know. I don't know what happens with Jason Hayward. He's not going to be a part of this future. I don't see that happen.
Yeah, because they sent Velasquez back down. Right? They brought Jason Hayward up, and rookie Nelson Velasquez had to go back to the minors after he debuted this week. So, now you're taking. Now you're looking at exactly a Matt Nagy thing. All right. Jason Peters over Larry Borum or Tevin Jenkins at the left tackle spot last year. Jason Peters didn't need to play. Jason Hayward doesn't need to play. All right. He's not tearing it up. He's not giving you hope. Get these young cats in here. Okay. A Nelson Velasquez, who you just sent down, give him extended time. The best thing you can do for these kids, young men, the best thing you do for these young guys is say, here's my lineup. It's not changing. 1 or 2 guys a game. Okay. 7 out of the 9 spots are set in stone for the next 2 weeks. 7 and 9. You know what you do to a young guy? You take a shitload of pressure off of them. I don't care if you go 0 for 6 the next 2 games. 0 for 8. Guess what? Day 3, you're out there. Put confidence in these guys. These guys are young. All right, you get guys who get to the bigs and they're trying to do everything, and a lot of times people will press too hard. They're going to press too hard because this is their dream. They've been working on this since they were 3 or 4 playing T-ball. Let them have a spot. Say, hey, listen, Velasquez, all right, Morrell, You're done. You're in center field for the rest of the year. Okay? Ian Happ, if you want to put him in right or put him in left, put him in left. Velasquez, boom, you're in right field. All right, maybe rotate that one corner spot. But give guys the stability of knowing every day I'm going to be in right field, or I'm going to be in center, or I'm going to be in short, or I'm going to be in second, every day they know that, and I'm batting pretty much at the same spot. I'm batting 1, 2, 3, 4. Wherever you put me in, that's where I'm going to bat. There is a comfort level to that. There is a comfort level in knowing. It's what I talk about. Role players let them know what their role is, and this is telling them what your role is. Your role is you're my left fielder, or you're my right fielder, you're my whatever for the next 2 weeks. Period. Whether you're hitting 600 or whether you're hitting 200, you're my left fielder, second base, whatever it is. That helps develop these young men.
Absolutely. Like 100% agree with you on that. They need, and you're going to see them. Like I mentioned before, you're going to start to see these guys coming up. Oh, the Cubs bring up such and such, because I feel like a Wade Miley and a Drew Smiley are going to end up being traded. You know what I mean? There's guys that are going to be moved on from. Even a Michael Givens, and I like a Michael Givens, coming in and as a reliever. I like him with the Cubs, but if he could contribute somewhere else, he might get. There's guys that are yet to be moved, and with a Killian, with the emergence of a Keegan Thompson, I'm okay with that. I'm like, all right, let's like I said, the excitement has come with the kids. The excitement has come with the kids because they can if you can find some type of camaraderie within the clubhouse, maybe, just maybe, this thing might be shortened down a lot more than some people think. Maybe they start to because I'm sure Jed's going to want to spend next season. You know what I'm saying? Maybe they make a surprising 2015 like run next year, or maybe I'm not saying they win a World Series, but maybe they contend and they're really good, and just something different can happen. But I like the way that they're doing it. I think they need to add more youth.
It's gonna be fun. All right. The rest of the season is gonna be fun. And I'll tell you, especially if they give these young kids a chance and do, you know what? You're there for 2 weeks. Hell, just even 1 week. 1 week. Just give 1 week. And then we're gonna put someone else in there while we're trying different people. Or you can even do it 2 weeks because you got a whole season. You still got 100 and something games left. 2 weeks. You get 2 weeks. The next guy gets 2 weeks. And after that point, we're gonna see. Give these kids some, it's frustrating. It's frustrating, and not as much for me because I'm not a Cub fan, but just for evaluation purposes. You can't just, oh man, well, he had one bad game. We're sending him down. He had a great game. Let him, there's ebbs and flows. You're going to come back to the means. You're going to see how, there's a whole, even at the AAA level, if your talent has been one that's gotten you to that has been so far superior to your competition in grammar school and high school and college, in A or double A, maybe even triple A. What did I tell you? Yoel Moncada was the number 1 prospect in minor league baseball. Best. Now you get to the big. See how they react when they get a book on you. See how they act when you're dealing with grown-ass men who make $35 million to strike you out. Night in and night out. You got this guy striking you out. Then this guy, how do they react? Find out what they're made of. I'm sure they've had some adversity, but you've never had adversity at this level. Get them in there. And I'll tell you what, your fan base will love it. Your fan base will love it. And you know who will love it even more? The players. Because the players won't be looking over their shoulder saying, oh man, God, I got to get a hit. I got to go 3 for 5. I got to do this. I got to hit 3 homers. It's not about that right now. It's not about that. If you're Yoel Moncada on the south side, it's like that right now. If you're the Cubs and you're a young cat who's trying to impress, it's not like that. Get in there, get them some time, get them comfortable so they can play their game, and you can see exactly who they are and what they're about. Listen, we got to take a quick break, and then to go to the side of the break, I haven't decided. We're going to talk either NBA, the finals last night, or we're going to talk Bears as the Bears wrapped up OTAs. Then others have they wrapped up OTAs yesterday. So you know what? It's going to be a game time decision. I'll figure it out on the other side or during the break. So keep it locked right here, folks. We got some more sports conversation right here. Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago.
That's drilled left field. That was the head of Yepez off the wall. Morrell racing for second, and he's in with a double.
The two-base hit for Christopher Morel. Wilson Contreras, the batter.
That's drilled left field. Down the line. Gone.
Two-run home run, Wilson Contreras. Cubs lead 2-0. He hit an 0-2 pitch.
AutomotiveMap.com presents the Sports Flash on the Sports Zone Chicago. The Cubs beat the Cardinals 7-5 on Thursday. Frank Schwindel hit a long solo homer and doubled among his 3 hits. Wilson Contreras went deep for the 3rd time in 4 games. Ian Happ also homered to help Chicago end the Cards' 3-game winning streak. Paul Goldschmidt doubled to extend his hitting streak to 24 games. He reached safely for a career-best 38th consecutive game. Cubs rookie Christopher Morel doubled, walked, and scored 2 runs, extending his career opening on-base streak to 16 games.
There's a drive out in the deep left center. That ball's going to get in there. 2 runs will score. Luis Robert with a 2-run double.
White Sox radio with the call in Thursday's 8-3 loss at Toronto. Johnny Cueto gave up 3 earned runs and 7 hits over 6 innings. For lightning fast sports updates, download the Score app. It's free and one of the most popular sports apps in North America. I'm Chuck Sanders. That's the Sports Flash on the Sports Zone Chicago.
Get Macy's lowest prices of the season and save big on summer style essentials, like 50 to 60% off all designer suits for an effortless touch of cool, 40 to 75% off fine jewelry to complete any look, and get ready to jet set with Tag Ridgefield luggage sets just $74.99. Plus, Macy's Star Rewards members earn on every purchase except gift cards, services, and fees. Sign up for free at Macys.com/Star Rewards. Savings off sale and clearance prices. Exclusions apply.
Hi, Tom Bodette here. Have you ever noticed how people talk in that same weird voice to their dogs? Just like this? Well, it sure gets a dog's tail wagging. Wondering if I can get your ears all perked up the same way when I tell you that pet's stay free at Motel 6. With a clean, comfortable room and a great low rate. Now, who's a good human? I think you are. I'm Tom Bodette for Motel 6, the proud sponsor of pets, and we'll leave the light on for you. Yes, we will. Yes, we will.
The edge or disposition that you kind of take out on the field. Obviously, Jermaine wasn't that much of a fan of it last year. Do you feel like this offensive line is going to be more receptive to that kind of attitude, that kind of nastiness on the field that you tend to bring?
I do think that, yeah. What's been shown so far in OTAs, I see the fire, all the fight, and all of the rest of the O-line. So I'm really excited for what's going to be coming up here in a couple months.
And is that something that you would take on? Like, would you like to take on that kind of demeanor as the O-line? Like, don't play with us, don't play with my quarterbacks, running backs.
Ultimately, yeah. But I don't like to talk about it. I like to do it instead. So it's like a lot of things to be done instead of spoken for.
Welcome back to Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago. That was our left tackle, right tackle, Tevin Jenkins. I'm getting fired up, man. Getting fired up. I love Tevin Jenkins. I love what they're doing. I can't wait. Well, we have mini camp coming up. Then there's about a 6-week break, and then training camp. Training camp. It's here. It's almost here. Training camp is going to be it's going to be an interesting scenario. A lot of competition, a lot of young guys, old guys competing. Remember what they're doing. They're getting guys and having guys compete who haven't gotten their big contract. They haven't gotten that big deal. That $8 million guaranteed, whatever, however many years and long and monetary terms, whatever it comes to, they haven't gotten it yet. And that's what they're doing. They're getting guys who want that. guys who fit their system, guys who know, hey, listen, if I show out this year, they can re-sign me for that money that I want. I could get that big deal here or somewhere else. You know, we talked about, did we talk about it last, about Castillo and how he screwed up those boys, Ivan? Did we talk about that last show? Okay. It's good to see a much more svelte Tevin Jenkins. Okay. A much more svelte Tevin Jenkins and Larry Borum.
Yeah, he looks bigger. He looks bigger. And I mean, maybe that, I'm not even going to say maybe. The last regime definitely affected confidence in players because you've seen, and we all talked about that incident with Jermaine Ifedi where against the Vikings where Tevin finally somebody steps up for Justin. You know what I mean? After watching Justin get his ass beat after the play, damn near every game and nobody stepping up for him. But, you saw that and then he gets scolded by a vet, a guy that's supposed to be there for him, supposed to be like, yeah, all right, I got your back. F these motherfuckers. Like, let's go ahead. Like, if you're going to do that to us, we're going to get nasty right in your face. Tevin looks like he's much more comfortable with himself. The way he speaks, like, I mean, I've heard him speak before, but just in that line, I feel like he's much more comfortable with what's going on here than he ever was in 1 year with that last regime. And you could just see, like, I'm sure he's going to be a force to be reckoned with out there. No matter what position they put him at, whether it be left or right, Tevin's going to affect the game.
Yeah, part of it also has to do with he's healthy now. When you come into a new place, all right, you got to learn the lay of the land. All right. Yeah, you bring your attitude with you, but you still kind of understand there's a pecking order. All right. You understand that there's, you're not big man on campus unless you come in as a number 1 overall pick and whatever. His back injury, which held him out, that'll also affect your confidence. Obviously his play because he couldn't play for a while. And then the way that they had him, we talked about it last show. Ivan reminded me, you had him bulking up to 320, 330, 340, somewhere in there. And that's not the type of lineman you really need. All right. You did that, but you didn't run the ball. Well, if you're going to just run the ball, man on man blocking, okay, fine. But you didn't run the ball on a consistent basis. Okay. Now he's got a guy, and we just talked about this in baseball. We got a guy who knows what he wants. A former offensive lineman is our general manager. I do know it says this is the type of lineman I want. This is what we're going to run. This is what you and you and you and you need to do. I need your body fat at this. I need your weight between here. I need your body composition as such. This is what I need you to do. As good football players, okay, you give me what you want me to do, and we'll do it. So now he's comfortable getting done what they asked him to do. And now you see his personality. You're damn right, Nomad. All that rookie stuff is over. He doesn't have to know where to go, where to live. Doesn't have to know how to get to the facility. He doesn't have to know where to go shopping. He doesn't have to settle in. All that's done. He's settled. Now he can focus on football. Because if you don't think trying to navigate how things work as a rookie isn't a big deal, you're sadly mistaken. You're sadly mistaken. I'm telling you. I did it when I went to college as a freshman. I did it when I played overseas in Italy. You got to figure that out. It takes time. Compound the fact that he wasn't with the team because he wasn't playing because he was injured. He had surgery on his back. Now he looks a little more svelte. Now the attitude that we saw at Oklahoma State, that's going to come out. That nastiness that you want your offensive line to play with, that Ryan Poles wants his offensive line to play with, that's going to come out. Larry Bourne, the same thing. More svelte, quicker, getting there with an attitude. I love it. I love it. I love it. All right. We talked about the competition. We talked about, you brought in more than enough guys. More than enough guys. The right guard spot might be an issue. But if one of these guys they drafted or that they signed can play left tackle or right tackle, guess what? Then you can move. Then you can have both of those guys on one side. Having a side of Larry Borum and Tevin Jenkins would be nasty. That would be nasty. I would love it.
How, think about how much that injury to adding that weight, right? Continue to keep that weight on. Think about how much that had to affect that back injury. You know what I'm saying? When you become more in shape, things that have ailed you start to kind of loosen up. Not everything, you know what I'm saying? Not everything, but things like that, like lower back pain, stuff like that. And I know his injury is more significant, but you got to think how much of that extra weight off of him has relieved some of those issues and made him more agile, made him more comfortable in his own body. I did not know, and we talked about last year, I did not know Hunk of Steel was dumb as hell like that. But those days are over. Those big, bulking, hulking, I don't think those days are necessarily over, but you don't need, in this offense, you don't need that. In this offense, you can't afford that because they're too slow. They're too slow, and it doesn't work. I like Tevin. I like Larry Borum. Let's see what they are on the field with, these slender, new svelte physiques that they have, and let's get them going. I like the idea of putting them next to each other, getting them running, like what Trent Williams on that motion with the Niners. Remember when he went in?
Mm-hmm. Oh my God!
If they're mobile like that, then that would be exciting. Trent Williams is a freak, but if they do certain things like that, and they're able to move, these guys are going to be forces. Like Nomad said, Tevin's going to be a trench bully, and I think Larry Borum could do the same thing. I think this offensive line, the youth really gets me excited, but also that the center seems solidified. Cody Whitehair, I feel is going to take a jump up from really taking a step down. I think that was just because of the center next to him. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not going to go ahead and take shots at Sam Mustipher just in case I see Olin Kreutz on the street, but it's a fact. I just think that Lucas is going to be a better fit at center for the Chicago Bears than a Sam Mustipher. Sam might be a solid backup. Maybe you learn something. Let's see what happens with the right guard. But I feel more comfortable than I did 2 months ago, 3 months ago, last year. That of course last year, but than I did with this offensive line. It's starting to open up for me. I'm starting to feel more comfortable with this team. Am I going to go jump from 6 wins to 11? No, but maybe to 8.
You know what I would love to see, and you mentioned it. And Brandon, what's up, Papa? Good to have you back. All right, good to have you back. I just lost the name of the movie. Right side, strong side. Remember the Titans. There you go. You little remember the Titans reference. That's awesome. I want to see a lineman in the backfield. All right, I want to be a lineman as a tight end. All right, you get guys and say, hey, and here's the great thing. They're going to be so I'm not asking you to go block a safety. All right, if you're an offensive lineman, I'm not asking you to run down the field and block a safety. I'm talking short yardage situations. You got Kari Blasingame as a fullback, David Montgomery as a tailback, and you got an offensive lineman in the backfield as a tight end who reports is eligible. We're going old-fashioned football. Split one guy out to the left, tight end on the right, Kari Blasingame, David Montgomery, and offensive line is a tight end who's checks in as eligible in motion, leading up on the right side. Bring it, damn it. Here's where that nastiness, here's where the guy who gets beat out for a starting job on the offensive line Here's where he gets to affect the game. Here's where he gets to affect the game. Look, I'm only getting in 3 plays a game. 5 plays a game. But what if 5 plays it'll be? Imagine a trap. Imagine trapping a 3 technique. Letting Lagarde's going up to the back, or he comes through and you get ear-holed by a 300-pound guy. You're not expecting. That is beautiful football. And I'm not saying they're going to do it every play. No. But here's what's going to happen. You do that enough, guess what? People are going to realize you start setting an attitude. Remember, football is a microcosm of life. You are teaching people how to treat you. So when you go in and you're saying, I'm going to knock the snot out of you with this offensive lineman, this eligible offensive lineman, people understand, oh, snap, guess what? This Chicago Bear team, they're serious. Now, how talented they are, how much they're going to physically try and dominate. And if any of you have ever played football, hell, if you played basketball, you know guys who are good, but they're not physically strong. You can body them. And then you got guys who aren't really talented, but they're good because they're physical. You've seen both. Football is not a contact sport. It's a collision sport. And the more collisions you cause, not part of, the more collisions you cause, the better you'll be. And if you have, like the Niners, coming through, he's a pulling guard. Imagine this counter. Imagine Kari blasted game kicking out the end and a backup lineman coming around, sealing up either inside the kick out, sealing that backer, or a safety who comes up. Imagine the safety comes to fill that hole, and here comes a 300-pound lineman just running him over. Come on, man. Because we got to get that key first down. Yeah, we can go back to spreading it out later and throwing the ball with Justin and getting all this stuff later. We got to get this first down. Oh, we're getting this. This sets the tone. This allows people to see you as a physical team. When you get a reputation as a physical team or as a soft team, people play you differently. Some people will be fearful of you. Some people will rise to the challenge and say, oh, and you'll bring the best out in them. Don't think that because they're in the NFL, nobody is fearful of playing a certain team. Don't think that. Do not think that at all. They won't say it. They will not say it by any stretch. But they'll be fearful. They'll be fearful of you knocking the snot out of them when you see on tape what they do and they're successful because of the physicality that they play with on 3rd and short. To get that first down, there's nothing they won't do to stop them from getting a first down. You see that? You see how physical they are? And Ryan Poles, Matt Eberflus, they're about that life. They're about that life. Trust me. They're gonna have the mesh concepts, and they're gonna go over the top when they get a number 1 receiver, or maybe they have one in EQ or Pringle, whatever. They're gonna do all that, and that's great. We love the long touchdowns. Oh, the ball's in the air, 60 yards. Justin Fields with a phenomenal deep ball. Blah 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 blah. Cole Kmet down the seam for 30 yards and a first down. There's nothing better than knocking a snot out of somebody. Say we need a first down to keep this drive going. Guess what? We're taking it. That's the attitude that this guy has. I think it's seconded by Coach Eberflus, and it's going to be manifested by the way this offensive line blocks. Because the one thing that I'm excited about, but I'm also concerned about, is David Montgomery. I'm really concerned. Yes, snot bubbles. I'm concerned about what they're going to do with him, not about his health. All right, because you have Khalil Herbert, who's a phenomenal, as I feel, is a better zone runner than David Montgomery. Then you have Treston Ebner, who they just drafted. who ran outside zone at Baylor and has got home run speed. So by committee, this running back room is going to be good. But what does that do to David Montgomery? You don't need him to be the bell cow. You don't. But then that also means he's not going to get as much money. It also means he may want to go somewhere else. If he wants to go somewhere else, I'd be okay with it. And as much as I love David Montgomery, as much as I think he is the identity of this team, if he decides to go somewhere else because they don't offer him the money that he deserves and he feels a certain way about it and can get it somewhere else, I wish you nothing but the best. Because at the end of the day, this is a business. If you can get Treston Ebner on a rookie deal, come on, man.
I don't see this regime being fiscally irresponsible. You know what I'm saying? Like they already have started that and made that the baseline of what they do and how they operate. Like, hey, we ain't gonna go ahead and risk throwing money at you. I mean, Larry Ogunjobi is probably the biggest example of that. We ain't gonna just sign you because you got a name. We ain't gonna just invest into you and you not be showing up. You Parnell McPhee. You know what I'm saying? Like that's not gonna happen again.
Does Montgomery concern you then?
Was that?
Does Montgomery, his status concern you?
No, I mean his status, his health status.
No. His contract status, because he's in the final year, and if Herbert does well and Ebner do well, you'd be like, listen, bro, I know you want $8-10 million a year, but we got guys here who do it for $1, $10 in a six pack.
I hear you. I don't know. I think David is beloved in Chicago. I think people respect and they appreciate how David runs and how hard he plays, and the player he is. I don't know if I go ahead and if it's ridiculous, if it becomes a ridiculous price, like asking price. I don't know if he's asking for top dollar. No, bro. It's just not there. It's the production is great, but I don't think it's Henry great. You know what I'm saying? I don't think it's top running back in the league great right now. He's a top 10 running back. Just you're not going to get $10 to $12 million a year right now. I just don't think it's going to happen.
Yeah,
especially now that you're years into your contract. That's how they do you. That's where running backs are right now. Dime a dozen third-round draft picks that are going to be very, very good for their first 4 to 5 years, potentially even longer if they have, some type of Adrian Peterson longevity. I mean, the end of AP was, but that's another story. But you get to those first 4 years, they've already gotten what they need from you because they're already looking at other running backs. They already added another running back this year. David's gonna perform. I hope they find an agreement. I hope David's a part of this team, for a little bit longer. You know what I mean? I really do. It's just looking at how they're operating, looking at how they have been talking about spending and such. I don't know. I don't know if David could get 12 mil a year, right? 10 mil a year. I just don't think that's something that they want to do.
Well, I hope they negotiate and if he gets 7 or 8, I'll be happy. I'll be more than happy. Yeah, but I hear you. That's talking scheme and what they're going to do. Of course, yeah, they're going to do that. But I'm talking about having him here. All right, he's proven himself to be one of the top running backs in the NFL. Okay, are the Bears going to give him top running back money? My guess is no. And let's not forget, and this cannot be understated, he's not a Poles guy. They didn't draft him. They don't have that emotional attachment that they have to Ebner if he plays well. To Darrynton Evans, if I'm not mistaken. All right. They don't have that emotional attachment. And if those guys show any promise, guys, you better get ready to have David Montgomery in another uniform in 2023.
That's perfect, Nomad. Like that's perfect. Like 7 to 8. That's reasonable to me. That to me, that's like, all right, perfect. Now we're doing business. But if he does have good stats this year, and he thinks he's going to take a shot at the big money, and somebody's going to give him that. Now I'm like, Bears, don't go ahead and go back on your word and what you were pretty much saying, that you're not going to go ahead and make rash decisions with money, regardless of what you have next season. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's kind of where I see it going. But $7 to $8 mil for David Montgomery for what? 3 years?
3 years, $25 mil.
3 years, $25 mil.
Sounds like a good number.
Sounds like a solid number to me.
15 guaranteed.
That's good. Okay. Like that to me, that feels that's a reasonable. But if it gets, you know how people get it once they if they have a great season, you know how players are. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying not to go for it. I'm not saying not to try to get the most out of your your money. Just go get your money. But you got to think it's a business, and it's the team over you at the end of the day. Yeah. So that's where I'm at. I want money on the team. I think
most Bears fans do. So if they can get a 3 for 25 with 15 guaranteed, I think that would be perfect. Because if you need be, if Ebner and Khalil Herbert can take over after year 2, yeah, they can cut him after year 2. But he's got his 15 mil guaranteed. So not a huge contract by NFL standards, but a big contract nonetheless. A big contract nonetheless. So there's a couple question marks, and Monty's one of them. He's shown he's good, but if you're Monty, what do you do? What if somebody else wants you and they give you 10 to 12 mil for 3 years? Do you want to stay with the Bears, who you see the organization doing things very unlike the last regime, who's doing things in a way that will lead you to a title sooner? I guess it'll be dependent on what team offers him more money. Because if he goes to a team that's a contender, they just need a running back. Yeah, I'm out. I love you, Chi-Town, but I'm out. You can have a wife and kids to feed or something, but you got to make your own money. So it's gonna be interesting to see as the season goes on. We'll continue to go back and talk about this, because if he's having a good year, you start to see that, okay, cha-ching, his value is going up. Where do the Bears draw the line? And also, if it's not just him, again, if the second and third, if Khalil Herbert, if Treston Ebner or Darrynton Evans, if they start doing well guess what? His value in the eyes of the Bears is going to go down, because we got these young cats we could pay a lot less money who are going to give us that production. So we know Khalil Herbert is good in blitz pickup. Treston Ebner, are you good in blitz pickup? That's key. That's what we're going to have to see, because guess what? If they can be more than satisfactory in pass pro, yeah, then David Montgomery his tenure with the Bears might not be as long as we want. Nomad, you're right. They draft 2 running backs a year. Who's up next? Who's up next? Who's up next? We're going to see. I don't know. I'm excited. I'm concerned. There are some causes for concern. Montgomery is one of them, because of what he means to this team, because of the way he plays this game. Many just about all Bear fans like his style of play and respect it. So we'll see. Listen, we got to take one last break. This is the last break of the show and the last break of the week. And man, on the other side of the break, we're going to talk NBA Finals. That game yesterday was insanity. Insanity yesterday. And do we see a crack in the armor of the Golden State Warriors? I don't know. We're going to find out. So don't go anywhere, folks. Keep it locked right here. NBA Finals talk up next, right here on Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago.
AutomotiveMap.com presents the Sports Flash on the Sports Zone Chicago. The Cubs beat the Cardinals 7-5 on Thursday. Frank Schwindel hit a long solo homer and doubled among his 3 hits. Wilson Contreras went deep for the 3rd time in 4 games. Ian Happ also homered to help Chicago end the Cards' 3-game winning streak. Paul Goldschmidt doubled to extend his hitting streak to 24 games. He reached safely for a career-best 38th consecutive game. Cubs rookie Christopher Morel doubled, walked, and scored 2 runs, extending his career opening on-base streak to 16 games.
There's a drive out in the deep left center. That ball's going to get in there. 2 runs will score. Luis Robert with a 2-run double.
White Sox radio with the call in Thursday's 8-3 loss at Toronto. Johnny Cueto gave up 3 earned runs and 7 hits over 6 innings. For lightning fast sports updates, download the Score app. It's free and one of the most popular sports apps in North America. I'm Chuck Sanders. That's the Sports Flash on the Sports Zone Chicago.
Get Macy's lowest prices of the season and save big on summer style essentials, like 50 to 60% off all designer suits for an effortless touch of cool, 40 to 75% off fine jewelry to complete any look, and get ready to jet set with Tag Ridgefield luggage sets just $74.99. Plus, Macy's Star Rewards members earn on every purchase except gift cards, services, and fees. Sign up for free at Macys.com/Star Rewards. Savings off sale and clearance prices. Exclusions apply.
Hi, Tom Bodette here. Have you ever noticed how people talk in that same weird voice to their dogs? Just like this? Well, it sure gets a dog's tail wagging. Wondering if I can get your ears all perked up the same way when I tell you that pet stay free at Motel 6. With a clean, comfortable room and a great low rate. Now, who's a good human? I think you are. I'm Tom Bodette for Motel 6, the proud sponsor of pets, and we'll leave the light on for you. Yes, we will. Yes, we will.
Welcome back to Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago on this TGI Mickey Ficky Friday. It's the weekend, baby. This is the last segment of the show, last segment of the week, and it is NBA Finals talk. And I'm still kind of not in shock, but still quite impressed with what the Boston Celtics did yesterday. Yesterday at in San Francisco in the new arena, Chase Arena, I think it's called, the new arena of the Golden State Warriors in Game 1 of the NBA Finals. It was something to behold, and I'll tell you why. Real quick, I want to bring in our intern, Maurice Bledsoe. Maurice, what's up, Papa? How you doing back there?
Hey, I'm doing all right, man. Could you hear me? Could you hear me?
Yep.
Okay, yeah. I'd look at it like this. It's only one game. Sure, they lost. It might shock a lot of people, but us Chicagoans seen this before against Utah, against New York too.
In 92, 93, they lost the first 2 games of the Eastern Conference Final.
Right, and end up winning. So it's only one game, and it's a 7-game series. So, I mean, sure, it's going to be some tremendous adjustments. Even Al Horford even said that celebrating, in so many words, celebrating it would be too early to do that because they're still a dynamic team. You just can't fall asleep on those guys. So
no, but here's the issue: you took Steph Curry you took probably a one hell of a punch in the first half, and you came out on top. Steph Curry had 18 points in the first quarter.
Right,
he came out hitting everything from the logo. He might even hit one from half court. That dude was on fire. And Jalen and Tatum didn't have a good game at all, and you won by 12. Yeah. You took a big power shot from Steph in the first quarter because Steph's working on his legacy. If Steph needs to win a Finals MVP to be in that conversation of one of the greatest player of all time, he's not going to be, but you need those credentials to say, "Hey, I've won MVP. Right. I have a scoring title. This will be his 4th ring." And he doesn't have that Finals MVP. Remember, Andre Iguodala got it the first year. KD got it the next 2. So so Steph needs that. So Steph came out on fire, and it wasn't enough. At home. If it was in Boston, okay, I get it. At home.
Sunday,
That's what has me worried or concerned. Remember, I picked Golden State in 6.
Yeah.
But
that's what I say in 6. So this is day one game right there. So
yeah, I don't know, man.
But we're gonna see. It's gonna be some adjustments, definitely. It has to be
from Boston too.
Boston too.
Here's
Boston, like they're not, like I said when I interviewed Al Horford, he wasn't like, oh man, we got this, because he knows that they can turn it on at every given time. But he's not taking away from, at the same time, he's not taking away what they accomplished last night. So, but
when Tito Horford averages, this is the second worst game of the season.
Yeah,
I'm not Tito Horford. I'm sorry, Jason Tatum.
Yeah, Jason Tatum.
When Tatum averages around 10 points, I think it happened 3 or 4 times. I was listening earlier. The following game, he averages 30.
Yeah.
So on Sunday, you better be ready for a Jason Tatum revival. Okay. And this guy now, is Jaylen Brown going to be able to maintain it? Is Tito Horford going to be able to maintain it? Is I just forgot his name. Hold on. The light-skinned dude who's hitting all them threes.
The guy with the headband.
Yes.
Yeah.
Here it is.
I mean, last night they were
White.
just
White.
Last
White,
night
he was 5 for. He had 21 points off the bench, 5 for 8 from beyond the arc.
Yeah.
So is he going to be? Are they going to be able? Because if they can put up similar numbers, and Jason Tatum plays better with his 30, Golden State's got a man.
I mean, you can, because of the first game, we could say, oh man, I'm a bit concerned. We could say that, but at the same time, it's still the first game, and I'm sticking to my guns, Shawn. The New York, I know Golden State is not the Bulls, but like I said, we've seen this before. With I think with Utah 98 and 92 or 93 with New York Knicks.
93 in the Eastern Conference Finals.
Yeah, in the Eastern Conference Finals.
Because I didn't get to talk shit to my roommate because they were down 2-0 when we graduated, and I was pissed, so I didn't get a chance to talk smack to him because he's from New York.
Oh,
so I had to call him after the Bulls won the series. I had to call him back then. That was a long distance call. My mom got mad back then because that was a long distance call. But yeah, it was 93. I remember it vividly.
So I mean, we'll see, but they definitely got to make some adjustments. I mean, both teams going to do that. So
for Golden State, my question is this: is like, what happens to Clay? Because Clay did not have a great game yesterday.
Clay got to step up. That's the part of the adjustment.
Klay Thompson has 15 points. All right, you can't have 15 points, Clay. You got to be. All you guys got to have 20 points.
Yeah,
you got to have 20. You got to have. Wiggins had 20. I'm good. Otto Porter, 12 points, 3 for 4 from the arc. I'm okay with that. But Curry, 34. He's got to be 25-30. Thompson's got to be 25-30. Moore has got to be up there as well. So those 3 guys need to show up.
Yeah,
they need to show up because if they don't,
it can be a long.
Did I say Moore? I'm sorry, Jordan Poole. Jordan Poole had 9.
Yeah.
Right. Where were you at, kid? Where were you at? You give them 15 points. You give them 20 points. That's the difference. That's the difference in the game right there. Jordan Poole didn't step up. Klay Thompson didn't step up. There's a lot. But let's not forget, as good a defense as Golden State played, Boston plays good defense, and they're
they
physical.
definitely play defense.
They're physical, which is what I love about Boston. As much as
that's what they have to be. They have to be aggressive. Sometimes I think that in this game Sunday, in order for Golden State to win, maybe they have to go to the basket more aggressive, opposed to just keep dropping, trying to force the threes. Because that's what I've seen. It kind of like was kind of forcing towards the end of the game. I think that if they would be more aggressive going to the basket, because like you say, when you a shot blocker like that that Boston has that I don't know his name. I forgot the young man's name.
Tito Horford or Williams?
The Williams. You don't run away from. You go towards it, and you got to go at them aggressive because a lot of times, because a shot blocker wants to blocks every shot if they could, but that's not going to happen. You know what I'm saying? So your aggressiveness has to go towards that to get that and possibly get him sitting on the bench because he was a problem child for them. So on rebounds, so maybe they have to start going more aggressively to the basket more so than stopping and, trying to shoot the shot.
One of the things that I said, I forgot who I was talking with, what series it was. It was a Bull series. It was a Bull series against the Bucks. Like, you don't need to, even if you have shot blockers, this is where the mid-range game is so important.
Yeah.
Now you can attack and pull up from 12, 15 feet.
Right.
Because now you're asking them to come out. Because if they don't come out, you got an uncontested 50-footer. Right? Because you're coming off a pick, you're rolling around, you're wrapping around the screen. So you start hitting a couple of those 15-footers. So if you come around the screen, you get a ball off the screen, off the pass, coming off a screen in the 15 to 18-foot range. Now they have to make a decision. This guy's hitting his mid-range jumpers. Do I come out at him, or do I stay back? If he comes out, well, guess what? Now you can pump fake and go. You got his momentum coming out. It's easier for you to go toward the basket.
Yep.
It's a mind game. It's a mind game.
Cutting.
It is a mind game. When you start getting people thinking, once you start hitting those mid-range, now the defense, now the shot blocker wants to be around the rim. He doesn't want to be up by the dotted line or by the free throw line. They don't block shots that way. But if they have to come out because you're hitting, now they're in no man's land, in territory they don't want to be in. And that's where Golden State has to put them for them to be successful.
Yeah.
Hey, great talking to you, Papa. I'm glad. Hope you're learning some stuff back there.
Oh yeah, I am.
More comfortable.
I'm definitely learning. I'm definitely loving the vibe on both shows. We got the show tomorrow. Saturday? Tomorrow and Saturday.
No, tomorrow's Saturday.
Tomorrow is Saturday.
Tomorrow is Saturday.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah, smoke fellas.
It's the smoke fellas. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Good.
Good. Yeah, I really enjoyed it.
Good, man. Cool. Well, we'll talk to you after the show. But thanks for hollering at me with some NBA Finals talk.
Yes, sir.
All right. All righty. Game 2, Sunday. It's going to be this is it. This is the adjustments. All right, Clay, you got to step up. Steve Kerr, why is Steph on the bench so much? Why was Steph on the bench so much? All right, you had a week off. I saw them as human. When you give someone a big knockout punch, you give them your finishing move, your coup de grace, or you come at them with everything you got. You remember how Tyson used to come out 90? If you can last that first 90 seconds, you have a much better chance of winning. Not a good chance, but a much better chance. Okay. They came out and they took the Warriors. They took a huge blow by the Warriors. 18 points from Steph in the first quarter. And at the end, they led at halftime. How is that going to affect the Golden State Warriors? Are they going to say, hey, listen, Jordan Poole didn't play very well. He's got to step it up. Klay Thompson didn't play very well. He's got to step it up. Or are they going to say, damn, we gave him our best shot. Or we gave him one hell of a shot, and they still led at halftime. See, Boston, my question to you is how much credit do you give head coach Ime Udoka for keeping them focused? They were down 12-14 a couple of times. They were down a couple of times. It didn't matter. If you saw them, They didn't get flustered at all. I think I saw White get flustered once or twice, but they didn't get flustered. They stuck to their game. They came back, tied it, took the lead. Golden State came back, took the lead again, went up 12-14. Led by 12 points going into the fourth quarter. And Boston bombards them with a 40-piece in the final frame. A 40-piece to their 16. That's not all bad Golden State shooting. That's good-ass Boston defense. There are plenty of shots that they had wide open looks, Steph included. They didn't hit. Boston's defense, if you couldn't tell that they tightened the screws defensively, I don't know what game you were watching. And Boston plays phenomenal team defense. Phenomenal. Rotating, hands in the passing lane. Don't try and swing the ball in front of a man. They're going for the steal. They're going to not the steal. They're going to grab it and take it. I'm wondering, these guys are 30 plus. Are they a step slow? Is it a feel-out game? I mean, trust me, I get it. It's only one game. You got to win 3 more times. Golden State's got to win 4. I think Golden State, and here's the weird part about it, is that Boston has won. Here's the thing: they're 8-2 on the road. 8-2 on the road. So a couple of things. Golden State, you better get that shit together. You better make those adjustments because you go back to Boston down 2-0. It's over. It's over. They got to win one game in Boston, one game at home to take a 3-1 lead. They only need one at home. So big adjustments need to be made by the Warriors. Boston, can you keep your foot on the pedal? We're going to find out. But Boston's won games that they shouldn't have, all the games on the road. Remember they went game 6, closeout game in Milwaukee? They were down 3-2. Milwaukee to try to close it out, get to the NBA Finals. Couldn't get it done. Boston extended it to game 7 in Boston. That was a turning point for me for this team. That's when the team scared me. I was like, oh, damn. You got game 6 when your elimination game 6 in Milwaukee, and you do them like you did them. They didn't win by 2 or 3 points. They soundly beat the Bucks, the defending champs at home when it was an elimination game for them. Yeah, this is going to be a phenomenal series. And Steve Kerr, hey, everyone wants to put you and say, "Oh man, Steve Kerr is going to go down as one of the best coaches in history." Okay. You come out of this series, you win the title this year, then I think you could be in that conversation. With an asterisk, because this is really Mark Jackson's team. But I digress. You come out of this, because Steph's not as quick as he was. He's still quick. He's still shaky. But he's not Steph of 4 years ago, 6 years ago. Draymond, same thing. Clay. You're going to have to play good ball, sound ball, and everyone's going to have to step up. Can you get everyone to step up? Can you get them to believe? Can you get them to buy in? Can you get their motivation? Can you get them to perform? I don't know. Yeah, it might be a feel-out game, but now Golden State, you can't feel out anymore. You know what's up. You know what's going on. You cannot go back to Boston 2-0, down 2-0. Can't do it. Because if you do and you still win the title, Steve Kerr belongs in that conversation. One of the best coaches of all time. But what, you want to put him there? Do you want to have him to? Do you want him to have to go through that, or do you want to make it easier on yourself? Win game 2, take one in Boston, and then win your next 2 at home, or game 6 if necessary in Boston. But you need one. You need Sunday, and you need one in Boston, and then it's the best of 3 when you have 2 at home. Whew, guys, 3 hours has come and gone. What unbelievable. I am telling you, I love talking sports with you guys. I love your comments. Nomad, you came in a little late. Great to see you, Papa. Brandon Livingston, he came in late. I love it. Thank you for tuning in, Papa, as always. Nomad, Brandon Livingston, man, all you guys, look at all these. Gustavo Willow is back. Dude, you never reached out to me. I have two Gustavo, I have 2 stickers for you. You never reached out to me. Reach out to me. I need your address so I can do that. All right, Southside Bear is back in the house today. He was hibernating. We missed him. All right, and the other, Armando Lara Jr., Marshawn is in the house. And I see Vernon. Vernon was in the house today. But Cornelia the Squalls, thank you all for tuning in. We love you. We love the support. We appreciate the support. Make sure you stay tuned. Keep it locked right here on Sports Zone Chicago, because Second City Sports with Lakina McGee and Sydney Brown coming up next. They're going to take you and entertain you from 12 to 2. All right. But you also make sure you do this. If you're not following us on all social media platforms, please follow us on all. Oh, damn. Brandon, happy anniversary, Papa. Happy anniversary. We appreciate the love and the support, man. We appreciate it. Nomad, you know what? This is why I'm never going to go to a show without thanking you. You're on the clock and you're still listening. I appreciate it. It's your anniversary. You're still listening. I appreciate it. That means a lot. That means it lets us know that you guys are entertained and enjoy what it is we're doing here at Sports Zone Chicago. We appreciate it. But yeah, I also want to thank Joseph for coming on, Joseph Phillips, Elliot Baez, our executive producer, Clarence Council III, our social media guy, and my co-host in absentia, Maya Akai. I also want to thank the man who runs everything smoothly here at Sports Zone Chicago, Ivan Vargas. Without him, this thing doesn't move smoothly. And then I thank our intern, Maurice Bledsoe. Maurice is going to be doing a lot more stuff with us, all of us together. Hopefully entertained you, and we are grateful for your support. So for Elliot, for Clarence, for Maya, and for my guy, Ivan Vargas.
Oh, almost got caught in between. Sorry about that. Sorry. Anyway, check out the Smoke Fellas tomorrow, 11 to 1. We'll have me, Maurice will be there as well. Yeah, cool. Now that I went ahead and embarrassed myself, I'm done.
All right, guys, make sure you follow Sports Zone Chicago on all social media platforms, on Facebook, on YouTube, and on Instagram. We are at Sports Zone Chicago, and on Twitter, we are at Sports Zone Shy, that's CHI, at Sports Zone Shy. Whew, guys, have a phenomenal weekend. All right, enjoy it. Be safe. We know if you're in the Chicagoland area, it gets a little crazy with the warm weather. I'll be safe, but enjoy. Don't let a couple knuckleheads stop you from enjoying our beautiful city, especially in summertime. Summertime Shy there's no better place in the world than summertime Shy. I'm telling you, if you're from Chicago, get here during the summer. Any summer, from Memorial to Labor Day, it is the best place to be on the face of the earth. I'm telling you, festivals, concerts, you name it, all types of music, blues, rock, house music, all types, festivals. I love it. Lakefront, it's rooftops, patios, best place, some of the best restaurants in the world. Just can't go wrong. All right, guys. So for everybody, listen, I'm out of here. I'm gonna enjoy a phenomenal weekend. I will see you. We're gonna take a 69-hour break, and on the other side of the break, we'll talk to you on Monday. Same bat time, same bat channel, 9 a.m. to noon Central Standard Time. All right, folks, I got 2 more words for you. We out.